Hi, hello, and welcome to tonight's session. We are on our mini series, I guess we can call it, the Tales of Del Nazra from Ash and Earth. We're down a person tonight, but that's okay. We're still going to persevere and move on. But first, to start it off, we're going to start with some announcements. Our main announcement is join us every first 3 Wednesdays of every month for our main campaign, DM'd by our lovely Justin down here. We're getting into the nitty gritty, the really fun stuff, it seems. And next, though Kate is not part of this, I just want to plug her Redbubble, or their Redbubble. It's KR Theater. Um, you can get a nice little sticker with our newest Lunatics logo. As well as a scribble sticker, which I am going to be ordering soon. So I'm so excited. So yeah, go take a look. Or as like Caitlin says, take a look or else. I think that's a threat. So without further ado, we will jump right back into it. So we have joined this group of rather interesting individuals as we had descended upon the continent of Forinthus, a mostly ashen wasteland of a continent that has sprinklings of life that have begun uh, turning anew. This group has we kind of came into the middle of their travels as they were making their way to a small village by the name of Goldmere, which was nestled within the Rosewood, an interesting place, pretty much a whole wood that is made entirely of roses. But this place had a major export of honey, and they were dealing with some kind of potential fungal issue. Well, as the group arrived and they settled in, they were greeted by the pretty much the magistrate, Cordillon, a rather interesting human male, where they eventually began to discover some unusual quirks that they were displaying. A bit of sleuthing about revealed that the town was potentially being uh, taken over by spores. And each of them possess these, well, they noticed it on Cordillon, he possessed these like fungal growths. Spotting the villagers leaving, or some shadows leaving, they decided to follow, and also Cordillon leaving, they decided to follow and pursued him to the village graveyard, a actual really nice setup place where they begin to hear some low chants or humming as the villagers, they came upon a scene of the villagers with their arms open wide, seemingly praising this massive fungal growth, which our intrepid doctor here reasoned to be what is referred to as the sweet cap, which typically are small fungal growths that are attracted to things that create like more sweet things, even so much as a corpse, if you will. Uh, they do release mind altering to a degree spores that are mostly meant to keep them unseen, almost like to create a veil of illusion, if you will. But this sweet cap, this mutated one, seemed to be able to possess and control. The group worked valiantly to take out the mutated sweet cap, with our doctor falling unconscious. But as he fell into the pit or was dropped into this grave, his mutation of his body, the mutation that he's undergoing, a potion of healing cracked and seeped into his skin and allowed him a bit of revitalization as they charged forward with Oleander, Jesus, Oleander, to finally take down the mutated sweet cap. The undead that seemed to be under the sweet cap control dropped, as well as all the villagers seemed to drop as well. A quick little medicine check revealed that they are not dead, they just seem to be knocked out. The undead seem fully undead. even so much as you see some of that fungal growth is already kind of starting to lose its adherent, like adhesive nature.
Starting to kind of bleach, maybe?
Bleach, but also like peel off. And you do see there's like a rash, like almost like an abrasion. So like it's like if you would peel a scab off to a certain degree, a partially healed scab, there is still, you can see where it had rooted itself within the flesh. But yeah, I think Oleander is hanging on for dear life. um, with Bud and Gallus. I got my brain. Gallus is kind of, they were the ones that were inspecting the villagers that dropped. What would you like to do? You'll currently have a place to yourself.
Oh, well, how was everyone? Is everyone all right?
Oh, I felt terrible, but all of a sudden I feel way better.
Yes. Quite curious that you were all but in the grave.
I was literally in a grave. It was awful.
Were you?
I was. I fell in that one right over there.
Sorry, it's preoccupied.
And he kind of like stumbles a bit.
Oh. Well, we better gather everyone up, yes? And, kind of resolve this. We've got some collapsed ones, and maybe push them together and have a talk when they arouse.
Oleander, Bud is going to throw in 5 lay on hands. Just to kind of get you back into.
Oh! Yeah, that moves the spot. Wow!
Feel that all the way down to the cockles.
Yeah, right from cockles. What are cockles?
You know, the bits, the innards.
Yeah, them.
The deep
Yeah,
bits.
them.
The medical term.
The two of you who are closest to Bud would have joined as well to heal Oleander, but as you are in the mass, effectively, of the massive fungal growths that have been created out, it seems like it was spilling out of the crypt. You do notice that there is a centralized or a central sarcophagus that is partly cracked, and just out of that crack, like a small little sliver of a crack, you see what is it, ground zero is a good way to call it. Ground zero was like where this fungal growth started. The mycelium?
Yeah.
mycelium
is like spreading out and just came up and created this.
Well, what do we make of that?
Great question.
And Oleander will walk in and kind of study the situation to see, maybe get a little bit more info by just kind of having a look around to see maybe how or why
No.
Oh.
I was like, Garrett, you cut out.
Oh no. At what part?
To see what? What are you trying to look at?
How or why this was triggered.
Okay. As you kind of push your way past the mycelium that is already kind of drying and shriveling up, upon the sarcophagus, you get a better look. There is a really ornately carved like stone topper. And upon that, you see there is a feminine form, though armored, like laying, like as if it's carved from like it's raising up from it. It appears knightly, so like plate armor that has like been carved out. Um, the interesting part is upon the chest here, there is a like it looks like the hands are supposed to hold something, but it's missing. Um, and the mask cover, it looks like there's two hands that are like raising up and like this over the eyes. So like the where the eye slits would be like where you could look out. It's like the two hands are like embracing it, like embracing a face, almost like a someone crying or weeping.
Right.
But you can tell it's part of the armor.
Oh, okay, okay.
Like it's supposed to be part of the armor. Um, do you attempt to move the top of the sarcophagus, or are you just looking at the general area right now?
Oh, it's the shell of the sarcophagus. It's not
Yeah, so
actually
it's like
like. Oh,
no,
okay.
it's like the shell, so the top portion
Okay.
of it.
So, are we seeing the stuff come from the shell or from the cracks in the sarcophagus where
So
the
yeah,
body
so
would
it
be?
looks from what you can tell, it looks like there is a like a stone like holder maybe like where you would effectively it's more of a royal don't be buried under the earth, you're going to be buried on in this stone box effectively. It looks like that stonework has cracked and the mycelium has grown out of that, so it looks like it's growing directly out of the stone sarcophagus, the stone slab. And from what you can go ahead and roll a you are a dwarf, so go ahead and roll a uh this is a good one. Go ahead and roll a nature check, but you're a
Yeah,
dwarf.
okay.
So are you good? Do you think like are you proficient in masonry school tools? Is masonry
Not
one of
masonry
your
tools,
okay.
no.
Okay. Just a straight
Carpenters. Yeah.
no, this is this is like stonework.
Yeah, no. Uh, so do you want me to
Yeah, go
roll?
ahead. Go ahead.
What is it? Sorry.
A I
Nature?
said nature. Yeah. Go ahead and do or investigation if you want, since you're not proficient in it.
Neither. So we'll just have a whack at it.
Okay.
Not bad. 15.
15. Um, from what you can tell, it does look like natural, like the crack was natural, though it feels as though the mycelium accelerated, like the mycelium grew aggressively. Does that make sense? Like it grew out of like it was like almost pushing out of the stonework. You begin to see
Yeah,
bits
so
of
like
rubble of it.
it doesn't look like there was much erosion. It looks like it was almost forceful.
Yeah, like it's imagine like there's like an already like a small like hairline fracture, and then the mycelium was like trying whatever it was, this aggressive nature of this had like created this much larger crack for this to
Can I see
get out of.
perhaps the name etched anywhere on this sarcophagus?
Uh there is no name, but there is around the out like the edges you do see um there are depictions of various scenes. Um and you see this figure that wearing this armor, you can tell just by distinct just how most carvings are done or murals are done. Whenever you have a centralized figure, they're usually it's very obvious who the story is about. You see there is a figure wielding this mace, and the top of the mace looks like a bouquet of roses. Um, and then you see on the like inscriptions around these, and it's various types of battles. Also, like it seems like she's addressing a large crowd of people. It seemed whoever this person was like a major figure for this place at some point. Uh, and you see an inscription around the edge that effectively reads, "She who is made of thorn and beauty laid the first seed that sprouted the woods."
She was made of thorn and beauty, sprouted the first.
She laid the first seed that sprouted the woods. There's Oleander is in there. Dr. Thomas, is there anything that you would like to do as you were?
He's probably
Wow.
out examining all of the bodies, like especially now that they're not moving.
Okay.
Like getting a look at all of them, because you said they all just dropped, right?
Yeah, so they all kind of, as the sweet cap died, all the bodies that seemed to be infected or that seemed to have, that seemed to be infected just dropped. The villagers and the undead.
Yeah, so he's checking on the villagers first, just like walking around, being a doctor, just being like, are they dead? Are they just comatose? What's going on?
They are comatose. From what you can tell,
Okay.
they're comatose. And already as you're looking, even Bud is kind of poking at some of the growth, which the villagers are all wearing some kind of cover, like headpiece. As you take those off, you do see that at the back of the head is where the growths seem to have started. So like almost like the base of the deck and just grew out. But that has already started to come away, and you're seeing that even some villagers, as you like gently pull at some of it, like patches of their hair come off because it's just so ingrained. So it's pretty rough. But what you can tell they are not dead.
Okay.
They are alive.
He's probably then like focusing on like walking around and just kind of figuring out who's good and who isn't.
Okay.
He's kind of triaging because it seems like this kind of thing. He's like, I don't know if they're stable, like this. So he's kind of walking around. I have a crossbow and crossbow bolts. So for the purpose of just like keeping track, he's probably just like walking around and just like anyone that's alive still, he's just taking a crossbow bolt out and just staking it into the ground, like right by their head.
Okay.
So it's like a clear and easy visual. It's like these ones are alive, these ones are dead.
Okay. Go to roll a medicine check for me.
Okay. 11.
An 11.
Rolled a
From what
6,
you
yeah.
can tell, so all the villagers are alive. From what you can tell, they're all of some level of consciousness. The variations of fungal growth on them varies. What you can tell is Cordillon had the worst. Him and his wife had the worst. As you realize that there was a more direct line of potential spread because he had that hole in in the town hall. All the villagers feel feverish and they have a slight shake to them, almost like they're fighting off an infection or a sickness, which is not unusual as they had something that was
right, yeah,
in their brain. And now that you're starting to connect the pieces, before Cordillon you had seen him and he had a slight clamminess to him. You realize it was because it was like a feverish sweat. And that it's like the body was trying to resist the fungal growth, but obviously it was, so you're starting to piece that together now as, there was obvious signs of something was just not completely right.
Okay.
The undead are undead. The whatever was keeping them and pulling them alive, most of what they were made out of and that connected them, almost like connective tissue, was mycelium that had grown. And you realize that the head had become, for the sake of this, they had become very similar to like clickers, where it's just just all the head was covered in like fungi, and just the mycelium had grown down and just reconnected their appendages and gave them some life, some sentience.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's kind of just focusing on doctor mode, triage. Like he'll see if he can figure out treatment for them. But for right now, there's a lot of people here, and like it's like the whole village worth of people here, right?
Yeah, it's effectively all of Goldmere. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got his work cut out for him here. So he's like moving from person to person to figuring out a quick way to keep track of them. He'd probably actually do, how many crossbow bolts do I have? Only have like 20 of those. Okay. Actually, this is a graveyard, right?
Mhm.
Are they all pretty much near grave markers?
Yeah, they did. They were like they were like the infected, like undead, effective, like
Mhm.
zombies as they were just running in groups. They were running in packs of 3,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Some followed Bud, and most of them were gathered around Gallus, like where they had
Yeah.
fallen. Some had made their way over to you, but not too close. So yeah, they're all relatively close to grave markers. Yeah.
Okay. Then instead, actually, his marking system is going to be he's just going to kind of shift them over so that they're all laying with a grave marker above their head.
All right.
And it's going to be he's actually going to take just a crossbow bolt and use it to he's going to mark up the grave markers because it's the best he's got. He'll do an X if they're dead.
Okay.
And then he's gonna do 1, 2, or 3 tally marks, increasing levels of like perceived severity. About like
Okay.
1 is like, all right, this person looks like they're fighting off, but they can handle it. Up to 3, or it's like, this person's brain is half fungus. They
Yep.
need serious treatment.
Go ahead and roll me a percentile dice.
Okay. 85.
85. So about 85% of the population that you've assessed or that you begin assessing seems to
Mhm.
be okay, recoverable. The remaining 15 or so percent seem pretty like Cordillon and his wife seem pretty rough. There are a few others. There's an individual that you see is kind of in like darker clothes. And from what you can tell, the vibe that you get from them is like Gravekeeper, like Crypt
Okay.
Keeper almost.
Mhm.
They seem worse, like far worse than most people. And you imagine they were probably the like patient zero to some
Gotcha, okay.
degree. And that small percentage, from your analysis, much like we've discovered, someone fighting off like a fungal infection is a lot harder. It just takes the body. It's the body's natural way. There's real no means of doing it. Maybe some potential magic, like utilizing Bud. Let me see. I don't think Bud has anything that. Yeah, they don't have any spell slots. But some kind of like some divine magics maybe be able to purge that, but it's the body's real resistance to fight that off. So I'd say effectively it's not marking X's yet. It's like a slash mark, like tentative with a little question mark. You know that it's gonna just be through the night. And the next 24 hours are kind of like dire for these people that are more infected than the others.
Okay.
Gallus, are you doing anything specific in this time?
If I may. Oleander might be like,
Gallus, what do you make of us?
I don't know.
Here, have a look. It seems like this was an epicenter of sorts.
Sorry, I was in the bathroom like chugging cough syrup for the last like few minutes.
No worries. So Oleander is inside of the crypt right now and investigating this sarcophagus, a stone sarcophagus that depicts some kind of rose knight of sorts. The easiest way to call it. And this seems to be. Oh, go ahead.
She who is made of thorn and beauty lay the first seed that sprouted the woods.
Okay.
Gallus, go ahead and roll a history check.
Oh, I'm good at that.
I'll give you advantage.
Advantage with +0. Okay.
Yeah.
Natural 20.
Yeah.
Very nice. Gallus, per your ingrained backstory on where you are from and what you were effectively tied and bound to.
Yes.
One thing that you did learn, or that you have learned directly from your connection, is that each of these areas, these wooded places, these that have grown in abundance, which I'll go ahead and give us the map, so y'all can get a reminder of how this. Each of these wooded areas is a legend, or there is a there's some kind of deep lore that always implies that someone came and laid the first seed that created this place or created these woods.
Yeah.
From your understanding, it is a, I don't want to say bastardized, but it is a trope that has been used because of stories of from where you're from. It is misinformation to a certain degree, from what your people have told you or what you have learned.
Okay. Since the player can't speak that well, I will relay what you just told me.
Okay. Gallus effectively relaying that there are stories of key individuals, specifically female, typically leans to more femme, that seem to act as mothers to these woods, or to the different woods of this land.
So, saying this may be metaphor. You want to help me open this up?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Okay. What are your combined? What's your strength score?
20.
My score 20.
Jeez, both y'all have 20s?
Yeah.
Okay. I said it as 30. Both of you each take one side and slowly, I would say y'all are smart enough to not just drop it.
Yeah.
But you move it in a way that it kind of lists and it falls with a heavy thud. And immediately you're hit with that sickly smell, like overly sweet smell. As you see, there is
Yeah, that's death.
there was a body, so there's a skeleton here, but the lower half, so from like I would say even more like about mid sternum down, is just, it looks like a dress train of mycelium that is growing out of like downward, so like in a downward way toward the crack that has been created. What you do notice is within the rib cage there is a soft glow, like of green, like ever so faintly, like a small pulse.
I'm not the most magically inclined. Would you, Gallus, poke around a bit more in there?
I'll see what I can do. I'll just poke around.
Going for the green pulse?
Yeah.
All right. Easy enough. There's no resistance here as you grab. It is some kind of piece of jewelry that sat, whatever clothes it might have been wearing, it looked like it was sitting like about here, and it just, as the time and such deteriorated, all you're seeing is a skeleton at this point. Time and such deteriorated, and even the mycelium seems like it had pulled away clothes or whatever it was once wearing. But this little stone, you see, almost like a perfect circle, but it's rough. It's like a rough gemstone that is giving the soft glow, and it's green. It's an emerald.
Does it have a mouth, skeleton?
It does. It has like a whole skull.
Okay. I am going to focus in on the natural decay of my body, the wood and the trees, and I'm going to cast Speak with Dead.
Okay.
Yes.
I was hoping you would. All right. You, Oleander, since you're the other one in here.
What's going on?
So, the root, a bunch of like flies fly out of the hollows in my body, and they are what puppet the corpse.
Yeah, you see this as the flies kind of grow or like swarm and surround, it almost creates, oh god, this is a really weird visage, but they create this cloak, like almost like a death veil over the face, as the skeleton seems to lift a bit almost like you're pushing against a thin curtain that these flies that are moving. It's a really weird display as the face you kind of see like poke through. The mouth opens, and there's a faint, like, soft glow of like deep blue before you like a pull, like a deep inhale of breath, like someone who hasn't taken a breath in years, millennium. And it's just lifted up. Like it looks like the skull or the skeleton has the full body is like almost ascended like this.
Yeah.
And it turns and looks toward Gallus.
Gallus. Going on.
Who are you?
No one.
Fair. I'm gonna ask about the woman you mentioned, or the references to that woman.
The Rose Knight.
Yeah. Who is the Rose Knight?
A story. A tale. A myth.
How many questions do I get? I think it's 5, right?
You do get 5, yes.
Okay. What is the story?
She fought. She laid the foundation of the Rosewood. She is who I represent, who they want me to be.
I'm gonna turn to the others, kind of go like this a little bit so the corpse doesn't hear me speaking.
I would say you could like step away.
I'll step away.
I would say you have to as you lose eye contact, there's almost like this suspension, like it's suspended in air. So I would say
Okay.
you have to, for the sake of this, just because you asked a question to the group, it's not gonna. I would say you have to direct the question at the
Okay.
corpse.
Any questions that you two can think of? 3?
I would say Bud and the doctor can at this point. With Bud would have assisted you. Dr. Thomas would have
Okay,
made
cool.
your assistant,
Okay.
especially with lugging about. But yeah, so I would say the two of you at this point, you hear this distinct like mass of flies just buzzing, like that vibration of buzz in the air as you look and you see lifted out of the sarcophagus is this like fly veiled corpse with Gallus and Oleander looking to each other. So
Ah!
Yeah.
The hell is going on over there?
I am asking it
Yeah.
questions.
What is it?
No one.
Not an answer.
I suppose there's another question, and I mean, I can be overruled on this one, but what ties it to this place? What ties it to this town?
Ugh.
But
I'll turn back to the corpse. What ties you to this place, to the town?
This location was here before this town.
I see this one's proud of riddles. Lousy with them.
You have one. You can start to see some of the fly veil begin to
Yeah.
flicker a bit as you were on your last question.
Do we know if this one was the one that lay the first seed, or is this in reference to the one they believe in?
Do they, seeing this grave, do they have anything like, for instance, a mace that's a bouquet of roses within the grave? Is there like anything that would imply that they are a warrior or a paladin, or like anything to highlight their station, their focus in life?
As you look within the sarcophagus, the stone grave, effectively, beyond the mycelium that's grown from its lower portion, there's really not much you can tell. You do see there's bits of fabric and such like that, but it's old. It's quite old. It doesn't seem like this is, from what you can gather and what you can piece together for the sake of this individual was buried here almost as just like there is like a to be held here, like there is someone who is here. The implication that you've gathered is that the Rose Knight was fictitious, was not a real individual, but it was used as a starting point, like a point of hope, if you will. And I would say the fact that they called Gallus, I'll give you this, the fact that they called themselves no one, you can infer with your, I would say with your connection, is that they have been so pulled away from whatever life they once led, that they have lost their identity. Like the idea that they exist as nothing. They don't possess that anymore.
Okay.
Which is not unusual. It happens because of the cycle of life and death within them, and who controls that.
Seeing as this type of growth started in the lower regions, Oleander would be like,
Doctor. Doc,
Ah,
could you come have a closer look at this?
this meaning this?
Yeah. I guess my first question, or thing, you might be able to answer this pretty easily. Is this skeleton, the remains, feminine or masculine?
You know, you can't tell that by the skeleton as much as you might think, actually. That's a little bit of pseudoscience for the most part. There's enough variation in both that it's not really enough you can tell.
Well, seems to be some type of growth in the lower abdomen region. Curious as to whether or not it is maternal or not.
Well, I could take a look, but I'd probably say best case would actually be to look at cultural markers to see if I can find anything based on that, to see if I can discern anything about the deceased.
Yes, all good ideas.
Right. The flies would split to allow you to have visuals, like it's not creating the veil is just over the face at this point. Again, the scene that you see, it looks like the mycelium has started about mid-sternum and grown down, almost like creating a trail or a train of a dress that grew down and then through this crack within the foundation or within the stone. You can tell that it looks like something was pulled out, so was relinquished of its resting place. So like as if the mycelium had once grown around something and something was retrieved from it.
Oh, is that the thing that Gallus pulled out?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Which would the doctor wouldn't realize. But yeah, you do see that looked like there was something missing.
Like specifically from the mycelium or the body?
So yeah, like if you imagine like the mycelium was growing on something and then you pulled it, you can tell there is like a clear indention of where something once rested.
Oh, so it's not like there's a chunk of fungus missing.
No.
It's like something was embedded in the fungus that's been pulled out. Okay.
Right.
Does it look like it's an aside? Because this is the part that's embedded in the body, right?
The mycelium has grown up to like almost create, like it looks like it was creating like almost like a deathbed veil of sorts.
Yeah.
Like it was slowly growing up.
And where on the body is the indentation?
About mid sternum. So if you're looking
Right.
at like just below your sternum, it looks like whatever.
Okay. Like
that
solar
indentation
plexus.
was. Yeah.
And so the indent is facing outward, right? So it's something that was like external. It's not like a bone or something was fitting into
Right.
that. Like it was
No.
it was an external object.
Yes, that has been pulled free.
Okay. Can I get a general sense of shape from that?
Yeah, it's a circular.
I'm sorry, I meant like more specific than that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
like-
it's circular in nature, and it looks like it has some rough edges to it. As you kind of like take a moment to look around, Gallus has in his hand, one of his hands, he has this stone that is hanging off of a chain.
Oh right. Yeah.
That looks like it would fit in
Oh, okay. Yeah,
in
that
that
makes sense.
spot.
Yeah.
But I would say even going a little bit further, especially with your expertise, you see that the mycelium, there's bits of the bone that have split, and the mycelium seems to have been growing out of that. So, and part of what you know, and because I remembered you roll well way back when, with the sweet caps, is sweet caps are attracted to overly sweet things. So that's anything that creates decay or anything like that. Sweet cap spores must have gotten in and maybe had started to infect or to grow within this. And whenever you have small hairline fractures, it could be a few spores that get in and just land just right to be able to create this. And it looks like that's what happened. And then something enhanced that and mutated that to such a degree.
Okay. All right. And then this has been here clearly for an incredibly long time. So
Yeah, you're looking
Like-
close around like probably just here alone, you're probably looking like maybe 200 plus years.
okay, because like completely down to the skeleton. No. So does it look like, based on the amount of time that it's been, does it seem like, because we're down to the skeleton here, does it seem like the soft tissue was lost to natural decay, or did the fungus like consume it to feed itself?
That is a really good question. From what you can tell, the way the bones look old, but there was the fungus wouldn't just grow from nothing. Like bone
Right.
doesn't have enough of any kind of substance to be able to maintain a fungal growth like this. From what you can tell, there was still, even after this amount of time, there was still some residual bits, that were left. And even at the bottom of it, because you begin to decay, at the base, at the bottom of the sarcophagus, there is a clear visual of discoloration, like decay had started, but 200 plus years, you expect that most of this soft tissue would have just gone away, like there would be nothing that would be viable, but you can tell that there was some viability here, and that the mycelium maybe had pulled from that to some degree.
Okay. So then looking around just kind of more closely for things that the fungus and decay wouldn't have gotten to, like, are there any signs of, because he's trying to figure out who this person was or a little bit more about them, leaning towards trying to figure out the history of this person. Like, if kind of playing archaeologist a little bit, things that wouldn't have decayed, like clothing would have rotted by this point, but like
Right.
buttons, belt buckles, rings, like the kind of the stuff, the hard pieces
Right.
that would be inorganic and would be like probably either still attached or like in the sarcophagus, that could give like a little bit of a touchstone to give an indication of like who this person was or where they were from or things like that.
From what you can tell, there is the corpse was laid to rest with very bare minimum. The most ornate piece that you're finding is that chain that is holding that rough emerald, circular emerald. And you can tell just from what you can tell, it looks like they don't have, like, whatever garments they were laid to rest with were just fabric. Like, you're not finding any buttons, you're not finding any buckles, zippers, like anything that would have withstood.
Zippers would be surprising, but
Yeah.
what the hell is this?
Almost like they were, like,
What is
wrapped
this
in a
device?
Yeah, wrapped in like
shroud.
like a burial
it's-
shroud. Okay.
Exactly that.
And then like no personal effects or anything were dropped
No personal
in.
effects, no.
Okay.
Except for maybe this stone that we're.
Yeah, whatever
Aside
this
from-
thing is,
yes, that's stone.
which
And you do still have one more question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way.
Looking
we'll just
at
leave 'em.
looking at the body. Okay.
Another
Looking
10
at the
minutes.
body. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the stone was set into the chest, but it was set into the. We found it set into the fungus,
So, okay.
or is it set into the bone?
As you're looking, as you're kind of ascertaining and really getting a look at it, so the arms were at one point here. So like it was like they were rested across their sternum, but through time and decay, it's
Sunk
not just
down
gonna-
into-
yeah.
okay.
So, and
So it
even
wasn't
in my
em-
se-
It wasn't
Right,
embedded in
doesn't-
the body at burial.
Exactly.
It just kind of sunk in. Okay, that
yes,
makes sense.
yeah.
Okay.
Like it was either being held or maybe the
placed,
most
yeah.
that you could tell is placed or held by this
Okay.
individual.
All right.
Is any way to tell if it was placed? Oh fuck. Okay. Because speak with dead, they don't know anything that's happened after death, right? So.
We could ask them how they died.
You have asked questions that would imply that they have some knowledge after death. That's all I'm going to give you.
One question left. We don't know what the stone thing is that I'm holding. Okay.
I can take a closer look at it.
What is this?
Nice. Good question.
Shaking it from his
Stone.
face.
Just kidding.
Oh, I fucking punched
It's a
him.
stone.
A stone. No. There's a long.
Take the stone and just.
Yeah.
Which would just shatter.
There.
There's a long breath as a little bit of time has passed before. The first seed, a gift used to combat those who did us wrong, ties to the elementals.
And the shroud would dissipate.
There's a soft clatter. It sounds like the soft clattering of bone, but as the veil lifts, the body's not like this. The how it once was still like it. It is that weird moment of
Okay. Gallus will open up his mouth and the flies will just Jumanji style, but back into his mouth.
I'll pull it.
Right. Well done, Gallus.
Yes.
Would you help me put the sarcophagus back in place?
Yes.
Easy enough between the two of you. It takes a little bit of effort. It's easier to push something else that is left at, but yeah, it's you get it replaced. Dr. Thomas, did you say that you were going to look at the amulet?
I mean, just kind of get a sense, like see if there's anything I can discern from looking
Roll
more
an
closely.
Arcana
at
check.
Okay. Is that's not related to like any of the things that Blood Hunter would make me connect
I
know
don't
about,
remember
right?
what that is anymore.
It's anything involved. I think we kind of talked about it as like it's where is it? As this is one of those things we talked about. Like I think we were doing. You want to do a little differently than as written, maybe, because it's like undead, celestials, like a weird list of where is it?
I know it. Oh, it's Fey Fiends and Undead.
Yeah, Fey Fiends and Undead, which like
shifted
I think,
away from. I shifted away from Fiends because Fiends really don't play a part in here.
Yeah, I think we kind of just like generally like monsters.
It's monsters, yeah. So
Yeah,
go
so-
ahead and yeah, you can roll with advantage.
Okay, so
'cause
this is-
anything that would be considered. Yeah.
Okay, so this is real. Okay, yeah, Mike.
I don't know this yet as
right.
a player.
That's one of
but-
those things where it's like, yeah,
yes.
I'm like,
How
yeah.
you roll will depend on,
Right.
on where this goes.
But yeah, it's one of those things. I trust you to tell me if
Sure.
it's relevant or not. Like I will fully put that in your hands as something that like you take full control of it as to make sure it's thematically satisfying instead of sticking to a weird specific list.
Agreed.
And that's gonna be a dirty 20.
30-20. There's, as you sit there and you inspect, your alchemical trials and errors have allotted you some understanding and soft attunements to the various extraplanar, if you will. You've experimented probably quite a bit with quite an array of catalyst and bases and things of solvents and that nature. From what you can immediately tell and the sensation that you get, there is a soft magical radiance from this. Like you can just tell instinctually. Though it's deeper than that. And by I mean deeper is it feels grounded. It feels like it's anchoring. This has some kind of elemental magic had once been imbibed or intuned into this thing. So it's elemental magic in nature.
Okay. Well, the whole first seed thing makes sense. This has got a lot of elemental, naturey kind of mojo around it.
What kind of element?
All of them.
Oh,
The element. You know, when you sleep outside and you're sleeping in the elements, those ones.
right. So, primordial.
Yes, yeah.
Oleander will look to Gallus. And just kind of like,
No idea.
Yeah, it seems like a you kind of thing.
My village is very sequestered. We don't really know much of the outside world.
Gallus, just roll me a straight, whatever you're casting, your spell casting modifier, just a straight roll, whatever that may be.
Okay. So D20 plus my spell modifier?
Yeah.
Natural 20 for a 24.
24. Gallus, as Dr. Thomas and Oleander are discussing this, and Dr. Thomas is kind of holding this aloft, and it begins to almost have that natural spin catching the light. You watch it and you stare at it with intent and purpose, getting lost in a moment. Flashbacks of far beyond what you know to be your history and your people's history. You watch as the earth is ravaged by a variety of elemental to a certain degree, but more nature, like natural. You watch as a plume of poisonous clouds just decay a city. Acid burns away at mountainsides. Fire razes towns and villages. Ice flash freezes places. Lightning cuts through, creating caverns, caverns in the land. But through that, you watch as bits of the earth itself begin to shift and form, creating these massive creatures. The water deluges almost like a massive tidal wave, and as it crashes down, it lifts up. It creates this figure-like form, like a humanoid-esque form. The fire, as it raises through, it coalesces and stops burning like a wildfire would, and it forms and swirls and spirals and creates this another humanoid-looking form. And the very air itself, as the ash and soot of the sky seems to coalesce around and being funneled into this elemental form, you watch as the land itself, a deeper part of this continent, has came alive, almost like in a defensive way, and
Okay.
snap to.
I will relay everything I saw.
Well, that sounds primordial to me. Well, I suppose we gather this up, wait for the villagers to rouse and question them, and then take all this back for debriefing.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Is there like a cart in town we could use to get everyone back in their beds? If it starts raining out here, these people might just eat it.
I mean, we'll just have to carry them as far as I see.
It's a pretty long walk.
No, it's not that far.
How far is it?
That's a good little walk. That's probably like a 5-minute walk.
I could have sworn I saw a horse or something back in town. Like, we could borrow one real easy.
Yeah, do your thing. Many hands make light work. And
Hooves do it even better.
Oleander just starts putting someone over their shoulder and just starts taking them back to town square, and we'll resume to just shuttle people back and forth until
Right.
until
Eventually, you come upon a horse, Dr. Thomas. They do have a stable. It doesn't seem like the animals were affected in the same way, because they do have livestock, very small livestock, just enough to maintain some protein intake, if you will, milk and things like that, goats, chickens. But you do find 2 horses. You find a cart that would be big enough to transport as you haul the bodies of the villagers back and forth, being careful with those that are more infected than the others. Are you trying to place them in random beds, or are you bringing them to the town hall and just laying them
essentially
like
I mean, if we were
you go in this bed,
if we were
and you
in
go in this
common-
house?
if we were in the current time, it would be we'll just put them all in the gymnasium. So if there's
You effectively can do
place of
that.
worship, or
Yeah, there's
anything like
that large town hall of
Yeah.
sorts that y'all were in. You just
Yeah.
have to clear out some space, but yeah, you're able to fully do that. They're going to be kind of packed tightly, but better than them being outside. But y'all could do that. It takes y'all a couple hours to get everyone back in, and within that time, about another, as y'all are resting, catching your breath from doing this,
Can we
get
a short rest?
Yeah, you definitely can get a short rest.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because some of y'all are in pain. But yeah, as I guess the next hour ticks by, you see a few people kind of get up and look a bit worried and frantic, and slowly more and more people start to come to, before you have a town center that is alight with confusion and not hysteria yet, but definitely concerned. They will look to the strangers who are there and look to you for guidance. What happened? What? It's just like a chorus of people. Is everything? How did we get here?
Oleander's gonna kind of like nudge Bud, because they have kind of they've got the, how do I say it, the casual demeanor of pacification about them.
Back those buds. Let me get it like that. Bud will approach. I'm not going to overheat for Bud. We'll approach the group, and we're gonna. Okay. Bud's casualness, with a 9. Bud's casualness seems a bit off-putting to some people, as not fully explaining what exactly happened. There is a level of concern and mistrust. They do recognize you. They do know y'all. As you gather, the last thing they remember is going to bed, that they went to sleep, and the next thing that they remember is they woke up.
Were they all wearing like stuff to cover up their mushroom heads?
They each had, like, some of them have a nightcap, some had like a shawl like effect that they went to sleep with.
So we can assume that there has been a level, or there will be a level of I can't find the word for it, but it's an dissonance, like an intellectual like dissonance, what you call it. There's a very specific word for it that I can't think of right
dissonance?
now. Cognitive dissonance. Yeah. Thank you.
You were there. So you're replying. Yeah, there is a moment where now that the worry has started to subside, Bud is kind of talking, but they seem to get more energetic and not hostile. They're not mad or anything like that, but the concern shifts to something wasn't right. And now it seems like whatever those connections that were like mycelia, the fungal infection was blocking or sealing off. Like, people are touching their heads and there's like a look of like, what the fuck? And there begins to be internal discussion between people of, you quickly realize that they were sharing dreams. They were having very similar dreams of, at night, getting from their bed and following a voice to a location, and then they remember distinctly singing, like it was a singing voice, and that they were joining in that song. And what you realize is that wasn't there before. Like, it seems as though they begin to piece this together, as though in the moment of their dreaming they recall it, but once they woke up they did not recall it. So it's kind of like that disconnect.
Oleander will kind of like bring people together, bring the party together, that is, specifically, not anyone else. And
Howdy. Should we let them start to piece things together themselves, or should we start to try and interrogate the leadership, since some of this seems to have started there in their home with the mushrooms and circle?
I mean, yeah, it sounds good to me, though I mean, I think we got a decently all right picture of what happened here, but the more we can find out, always the better. Sorry, real quick, Lex. Remind me, the fungus. The fungus that was in the basement, or the hole that we found, seemed like it had been transported to there.
Yes.
Not from there, right?
To there, yes.
Okay, so it was kind of like they had like taken their own little piece from the graveyard and brought it back to have extra production there. Okay.
And you get a good look. Inspecting those that are still unconscious, which is that small, like 15%. So definitely the magistrate and his wife, as well as the grave, the keeper and all that. There's a few others. The crypt keeper's fingers are like they had gloves on, and as you look, the gloves, when you remove the gloves, the fingers are pretty run ragged, like someone was digging through with bare fingers. Like they're missing nails, bits of their skin is just cut. Obvious, yeah.
So, we came here. We know that this fungus has a sweet tooth, so to speak. We know that it was tied to the tea. We know that there is a circle of mushrooms in the Burgomaster. Is it mayor here or Burgomaster? I forget.
Double check. I called him magistrate, but
Or magistrate, yeah.
I'll call him magistrate. That'll be
Okay. Magistrate's house. We know that this didn't happen 200 years ago, as opposed, from when this one was put to rest. So, we know fairly recently this fungus was introduced to this crypt, where there was this primordial amulet or stone, which, for a fungus tied to sweetness, I find interesting. And then it just exploded from there. Perhaps we can leave the rest to the spores, That's the running theory that I've got in my head. What have you?
Right, because I'm still not entirely clear if the dead body the one in the sarcophagus, if it was that the fungus started there or the fungus just got in there.
As far as I picked up, it's got in there. Like the crack in the stone did it in.
Mm-hmm.
Someone visited it with the spores.
But at the same time, the question there is that if it was if that was more recent, then the fact that there would have been something for the fungus to feed on is still questionable. Because if it would have been fully decayed over that amount of time, unless something separate was preserving it, there wouldn't have been anything for the fungus to latch onto.
Except for the stone.
No, I mean to feed off of.
Except for the stone.
Oh, that stone. That one. Yeah. I thought you meant the stone of the sarcophagus. Potentially.
I think we should investigate this stone a bit more.
I mean, yeah, that's worth doing.
Seems perhaps the mundane becomes not so much so. How do we explain this to the locals?
Well,
I mean, we
hard.
could just leave them.
Well, I mean, I think we owe them some kind of explanation. They might be able to fill in some blanks for us.
Ideas?
Well, So far, we've got. All right, everybody, you got brain infected by some horrible, sweet-smelling fungus that took over all of you and tried to use you to build up a fungal zombie army. How'd that happen?
Are you being quiet about
Oleander's
this?
like taking notes.
Are you
about
being
this.
quiet about
Can-
this?
So, so here's the thing, Lex. I wanna share. I think I mentioned this last time. So to reiterate something, Dr. Thomas Crowe has an 8 charisma.
Yes.
I
And
know.
Part of that is that
know.
he cannot control the volume of his voice.
There is a noticeable gasp as he is talking, and there's people like looking
Oh, you heard that,
at
huh?
each other, and there is begins the chatter of. Then now you begin to feel the breeding of uncertainty and a little bit of chaos, and not hysteria yet, but major concern. And the talks start to descent into blame.
Oleander's gonna, as things start to heat up, Oleander's gonna start like doing his. He's gonna go back to basics, right? People are uneasy. People are wound up. They need alcohol. Oleander's gonna start like taking some of his reserves, some of the stuff he's kept aside, and he's gonna start kind of like giving people a little something to kind of calm their nerves, ease their nerves, that type of thing. The people that seem to be the most jittery, he'll be going around and like kind of
Roll a persuasion check with it would be advantage, but with the way Dr. Thomas approached the topic, it would be disadvantage. So you're gonna roll just a straight
-1. So let's
say
do this.
persuasion. Yeah.
Yeah, that's bad. 3.
The people that you offer it to that seem like they need to take a breather, kind of knock it out of you. Like they just do not seem intent on that.
Fair.
Some of the people do begin to point fingers, more specifically at the mayor or the magistrate, those that are still unconscious, blaming them as being the people who must have started this. Why are they not awake? What is going on?
Gang. Perhaps we should, for their own magistrate's safety, we should arrest the magistrate.
We have the authority to do that?
I mean, we can kind of just try.
I don't know if anyone's gonna stop us, actually.
Exactly. But it's better than, mob mentality. And, I mean, we might be able to actually interrogate and figure out how this all started if we grab them.
How about this? These people are all real. These people are all real concerned about what they got going on. So I can have people line up for checkups, and I can give them a clean bill of health. And while I'm doing that, y'all can arrest the magistrate.
There it is.
So yeah, Thomas will get up onto a high place near a central area where there's a lot of people,
Yes.
and he'll just go,
Take all the attention, please.
"Hello, everybody. My name is
Roll.
Dr. My name-
roll. Yeah.
What? Sorry,
I
what?
was like, roll and then I was like, no, you don't roll. You don't have to roll for that. You're present.
Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Thomas Crowe. I am an educated and trained and certified physician. I've been watching over all of you since we ended your connection to the primary fungal source. If you'd all like a secondary checkup just to make sure your healing process is progressing, I'll be in that building. He picks a building at random, just points at whichever one looks like
That's
it
my
makes the best.
house. You're somebody yell out from the.
Well, thank you for hosting us all. I'll be in that building right there, taking you all in a couple at a time just to give you a once-over and make sure you're doing all right and prescribe any medicines or treatments we think we need in order to keep your healing process going. So who wants to go first? Form a line.
There are people who don't have that mom mentality who are trying to be more. They have kids and things like that. They're trying to console and things like take care of that, and they begin to try to redirect the conversation away from this aggression. But there is a small group of people that are insistent on staying and bringing justice.
Yeah.
Is seeing them.
Uh-huh.
Can he just like look at one of the? Because do they still have the fungus on them, or is it fallen
Some
off?
do. Like they don't all. It's not all falling off. You see, it's like a. For some people, it looks like a scab. Like it's not like a full like. The doctor, or not the doctor. You're the doctor. The magistrate had like very obvious, like, the mushroom shelves. I guess you can say, like, very obvious growth. Some people just looks like they have like
gills.
Yeah, these other people just look like they have like, you've seen like fungal infections before, like on people. It's just like a like mass, effectively. It looks like a bad scab on some people.
So he's gonna, as he's passing by to head over there, he'd like to find a couple people that have still obvious fungal infection on them that are in the more aggressive group, and just go, "Oh boy, yeah, you might want to get to the front of the line," and just keep walking.
Roll. I'll say you can roll the deception check with advantage.
Well, so here's the thing: is it deception? Because they do. That still doesn't look good, but
if are you proficient in persuasion?
Does
it matter which one you roll?
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah,
so you utilize which one you want. Are you trying to, or
no,
intimidation?
Nope, they're all -1, so I don't know what to tell you here. So yeah,
my God,
Same.
there's no charisma.
No, he doesn't. He has terrible bedside manner.
No wonder this is y'all's first fucking mission.
Yeah. He's good at what he's good at, and talking ain't one of those things. Let's go 11.
11.
It was almost.
I'll say it like thins a few people that you kind of like point that out, but I would say there's about a handful to about 5 individuals that are still lingering. The others kind of pile out, no longer want to be. There's that level of uncertainty too, as they all are now seeing the visuals as you were pointing them out, and people begin to actually like social distance to a certain degree. Like people begin to like group away, and as you get to the sound, you just enter into a person's building, and they're the person right up next to you. It's a woman and her husband and like 2 kids. They kind of join you. Oh, okay, we'll help, and they'll start clearing out their little dining area. It's for you to like set up your gear effectively, but they want to be checked first.
Oleander will like nod to Thomas as like good job. That was.
I'll say Bud will act as your assistant in this moment, just for the sake of.
I'll also just say, while he is having people come in and checking them out, he will be just kind of talking to them about like walking him through what they remember and everything, and trying to figure out like. Genuinely, he's not trying to be subtle about it. Like, he's trying to figure out the source of the infection. So he's got a lot of people coming through. So he's just going to be taking notes and like getting people's stories one at a time, just from the average person, to see if he can piece together when they got infected, how they got infected, what they remember, what they saw, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Roll. I want you to roll me a. Don't roll anything. We'll get to it, because people are not going to be. You're a doctor. They're going to. Most people tend to over-explain with doctors anyway.
Yeah. It's like he's the doctor. They have no real reason to hide it from him. Like, he's like, hey, tell me how you got this infection. You are coming to me to ask about.
Overshare is like, well, I was with.
Well, I got this rash down here.
Yeah. What is this one? Also, you're probably gonna get like a little bit too much information from some of these people that are just like clearly.
I saw half the penises in this town for some reason.
Probably, which that might create a whole different issue within the town.
Is it supposed to look like that?
But inside of the returning back to the town center with Oleander and Gallus, I imagine you're still there as well.
Yeah.
The people are discussing what to do, what the next steps are. The main consensus being addressing it with like waking up the magistrate and pretty much forcing the answer from him.
Can
The
we figure
blame
out-
seems. Go ahead.
Sorry. Can we figure out is there a rising personality within this
Yeah, there is a broad-chested, pretty stout individual. This was the one that was like bullying the shit out of Bud, like in the sense of like being on top of them, like when they were in their infected state. Who seems to have taken the lead, mostly just all off of sheer willpower, almost like they probably hold some kind of substantial place within the town, or people look to them to some kind of means.
Okay. He'll listen to what I are saying,
All right.
and maybe build something off of what he hears.
The conversation shifts, continues to shift into just agitation and discontent before eventually this figurehead of a person will take the others and walk toward the Cordillon and the magistrate, and he'll gesture to one person to rouse him awake, to get him up, and the person will lean down and begin to try to stir them awake.
Oleander will be nearby as that happens to oversee.
Okay.
Because there is some level of like, hey, these people deserve to know as well.
The jostling, and there's a few like probably a bit too hard slaps. Like not like it's like patting, but it's like probably more of a little bit force behind it to jolt. But eventually the magistrate eyes kind of flutter open, like looks confused and completely bewildered.
Consider their brain might be scrambled a bit from the fungus.
And he'll step.
There's a hard look toward you by pretty much the group. But the figurehead, kind of this larger individual male, let's wake him up slowly, get him up. And two of the others kind of heave the magistrate, who feel the vibe that you're getting is it's close to like a drunkenness stupor to some degree, like just haziness.
Oleander's seen a lot of that.
Yeah, and they pull up a chair and they kind of just more aggressively, just probably with a little bit more assertion, sits the magistrate down, and the guy kind of gets down and leans and gets close to the magistrate's face, but not too close, and begins to ask him questions, just like kind of bombard him with, why did this happen? What do you know? They're telling us that we were infected by fungus. What did you bring to this town? Someone discovered the pothole effectively in this building, the fungal growths there, and Cordillon is sweating profusely, and he's trying to navigate the conversation, and he's getting caught up in his own words. Well, no, I didn't do this. I don't know what this. No, I don't know where that came from. What are you talking about? This, and it just seems like he's scattered in the brain.
Oleander's gonna like get ahead of this by like kind of almost meeting these people where they're at, and grabbing the magistrate's arms and holding them back behind their back.
And he kind of jostles against, but he's weak at this point. And they continue to interrogate and ask, and he does not seem to have an answer.
So Oleander is like presenting himself as helping them,
Right.
and holding this person, and as someone who was a part of the group that helped resolve this issue, just presenting as like an enforcement arm.
again, the conversation does not seem to go in the way, and the agitation in the room seems to grow more and more as they're not getting answers to the questions that they want. Before they look to you, and someone comes and throws you a bit of rope. Tie him up. We'll let him rest here. The others too, and others begin to take bits of rope and bound. The
Yes, well,
magistrate's wife, the magistrate, as well as the crypt keeper, and a few others.
yes, well,
And yeah,
we have been sent by the Verdant Walkers to investigate this area, and this seems to be an instance where we might need to take these ones with us and resolve the issue. Do you have a backup magistrate or someone that could be properly voted into such a position?
And he kind of looks at the person who's been stepping
Exactly.
up.
exactly who you would think it would be. Kind of everybody in agreement in this group, like, looks to him. Right. If you have to take them, it might be wise to do that. If they're the cause of this, they're the ones that have been in the deepest of sleeps, it seems. Yeah, I think it'd be right for you to take them off.
Don't go moving into his house yet. There's a ring of mushrooms in there that we've yet to resolve.
Oh, y'all are in that same that area is like 5-10 feet away from you. Like, y'all are in the town center, which had a little kitchenette. Like, y'all are in this space. They just the guy just had a loft. The
Yeah.
magistrate just had a loft.
And so he'll like nod his
Yeah.
head.
Yeah. Yeah, so for the rest of the evening, what is the intent and purpose? Dr. Thomas is going to be checking people. It is late. It is late at night. But Dr. Thomas will be checking people. Oleander, you just chilling?
Oleander's intent is to gather up the people that might face backlash from this. Visually to the other people
Mhm.
appear as though we're an enforcement arm about to take them away and put them in dungeon forever, you know?
Okay.
But our actual intent is to just, like, you know, peacefully, like, take them, interrogate them, debrief them, not
Okay.
necessarily interrogate them, but debrief them as to what happened at a later date. But in this moment, in order to have a perception of justice,
Mhm.
kind of visually show the people that, you know, being, like, rough and, like, wrangling these no good people that started this business, you know,
Yeah,
just
effectively.
so that
I will-
at those you know, for the safety of those people.
Mhm. The consensus comes to put them in the guest quarters, effectively where Bud had investigated previously, to sequester them there and place them in beds and let them rest, but keep watch, effectively. The one person outside the door. Yeah, this will. Eventually, people will begin to, once Dr. Thomas fully looks through and investigates, or to a degree, as you were inspecting people, you were finding that variations of fungal growth have started on different individuals. You begin to learn and gather the consensus that they started to notice the sweet caps growing about 3 months ago within the town, which to you doesn't make too much sense or isn't that crazy. But about a month ago is when you start to assess that people began to have these dreams, the collective dreams of leaving their homes, following this voice, which to the varying degree, the people who had the more obvious signs and the further growth in the group that you're currently at, not to the substantial growth that the others within that building, the other building have, but there are various areas of that. Those people seem to have started to have these visions about a month ago. Y'all received word about these shipments and these odd fungal growth about. You received your mission about a week ago. And from what you gather from this, Dr. Thomas, from what you can gather is the person who requested assistance does not remember requesting said assistance. That potentially this call for people to come in was a means of people getting here.
I mean, he'll put together, like, as he's gathering all this information from everybody, whoever he's talking to, he'll be compiling a report throughout the day so that as we come back at the end of the night, he'll be able to deliver his notes and everything to everybody else, like, once we're regathered up.
I'll say, because it is late in the evening, like it's late at night, people begin to disperse. Where does the group intend to stay for the evening to get your rest?
I think as we start to coalesce, like after Dr. Thomas finishes his thing and we're all in kind of the same area, Oleander will be like, things are starting to turn amongst the folk. Perhaps we should take this small group of ones they hold as aggressors and take them with us to be questioned.
The ones they think are the aggressors, the ones who are now being aggressive.
No, the ones who they think are aggressors.
Ah, all right.
The victims, the ultimate, were the epicenter of where all this occurred.
Mm-hmm. Certainly couldn't hurt.
But that means us, spiriting away in the night.
They're not sounding like they want to let us skedaddle with them.
Yeah, based on what I've heard from the people, and maybe an insight check is worth it on this one, but seems like they might take into a certain level of justice without understanding. Might want to, as member of the Verdant Walkers, take these ones in order to understand it better before, often.
Right.
I would say, not really needing an inside check. It's these people aren't trying to just hide anything. The general consensus, the reason typically people get so upset or angry at people that they perceive as their protectors or figureheads that they put into a certain role, for the sole fact of betrayal. It seems as though the best way that you can kind of equate it is these people are more disappointed in the fact that this happened, and that it's almost to the degree of, you let this happen to us and we want answers. There's love for them. They weren't punching or beating up these people. It wasn't in that degree. And they're pretty, to be honest, you showed the more aggression from putting the arms behind the back. They were kind of in a level of we want our answers. Yeah, no,
It's
no,
like
no.
a
I
psychological
understood.
one, yeah.
No. That was understood. But just in really gathering up this information and the time that you spent with them as they were putting the people into the bed, like that's room, it wasn't like they were just tossing them. It was these people. It's a small village. Everybody knows everybody. So there's still that level of we know who these people are, but we're still angry and we want answers. And the way that the conversations were happening between the groups and things like that, from what you can know, it seems as though y'all were pointing a finger already at people. And so that seemed to have built on that. It's that, oh yeah, the people who are in charge need to have answers for us. So it just seemed like that's the way that it's going. Do you think that they're going to physically hurt these people? No.
Oh, okay.
In this moment, you don't think it's going to be like a physical altercation.
Yeah, I guess
sense.
when you stated that the people who were likely responsible for all of this were the most intellectually messed up because of the infection of the fungus, that made me think they're gonna get messed with. I mean, they're gonna, they're not gonna be able to defend themselves later.
Yeah, I mean, there's also a level you don't know what the ramifications of these heavily infected people, what will happen through the night. Because they were. It's from what you can tell with Cordillon, it was something wasn't snapping right. It was even more than potentially a stupor, like a drunken stupor. It was a lot, probably more cognizant than that.
We could also just say that they are the ones most in need of heavier medical attention.
Yes.
Like, we don't necessarily need to spirit them away as much as be like, hey, listen, whatever happened here, these people got hit the worst. They need medical attention. We're going to take them out of here, and the only way you're going to get answers is if we can take them back to the professionals to get them recovered.
As the Verdant Walkers, do we have, I guess, reservations to kill or bleach the fungus that's in the magistrate's house? Like the kitchen, that ring?
I could try and whip up a fungicide.
That seems like something that we might want to get a sample of, or
I have a sample.
in order for experimentation.
I took a sample when we were in the building before.
We managed it. Yeah, we got some already. I think Pat, once we got our sample, we were like, all right, burn it all. We're good. We're good to just wreck this stuff.
Part of me thinks that the fungus is not so much dangerous without that crystal, that mineral, that primordial amulet.
I mean, only testing will tell.
Yeah, only testing will tell. The question is, do we want to do that sooner rather than later? And when I say that, I mean, should we in the night?
I don't think we should do that, because I think then that runs the risk of them trying to track us down and while we're leaving, thinking we're up to no good. Plus, it starts to tarnish the name of the Verdant Walkers.
Yeah.
We're the kind of people that come in and steal your town leaders. That's not exactly a good look.
Well done. Then, it's decided. Where are we sleeping? I got dibs on the magistrate's bed.
Yeah, all right.
Y'all can
I will sleep
find
outside
your
under
rest.
a tree.
Okay.
I got dibs on the ceiling.
I'm just gonna take a blanket and curl up on the floor at the end of the bed. All right, as y'all find rest, it is probably closer to 1 a.m., 1 or 2 a.m. before you eventually get to rest. The town there are people that have remained, that group that have remained, that have light conversation, but are respectful of y'all sleeping. But everybody could take a long rest.
Woo!
And we're going to go in and take a short break, 10-minute break. We'll be
Woo.
back.
Excellent.
Nice.
Welcome back. All right, we are rejoining the group after a long rest. Do that for Bud. I would like each of you to roll me a percentile dice, please.
Sure, each of us.
Nope.
Let's do it.
D100.
I got a 62.
All right.
76.
Okay.
53.
53. All right, you all went above 50, which was good.
Oh, right.
There was, yeah, there was. Oh wait, I'll roll for Bud. Oh, nobody saw that. I'm gonna roll for Bud. Okay, so everybody rolled above a 50, which is good. That there was about 8 or so people that were more infected. There was about 8 people that were put into that room. Luckily, none of them died.
Okay.
There was a 50-50 shot. If you rolled below a 30, then yeah, it would have been both of them. But none of them died. They all made it through the night. Y'all would have been awoken by the movements and such as the person who was at the door begins to indicate that the people are waking. The people who were part of that group, that more aggressive group, if you will, they made pretty much, they found rest within the town center, so they were still close enough. They usher out a few of the people who you I would say, yeah, they begin ushering out people who they, from what you can tell, they're not mostly worried about in that sense, with leaving behind the magistrate and his wife and the crypt keeper. Those 3, they keep it. They do call up to you. If you have anything to say, or if you want anything to do, this is the time where we're about to start asking questions. They seem coherent.
You mind if I give him a look over real quick just to double check that?
Sure.
See if they're fit for questioning.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and roll me a medicine check, Gallus.
15.
15. Who are you starting off with? Who do you want to start with? I'll give you a description. As you were looking into the room,
Yeah.
the magistrate and his wife are kind of close together talking. They look fatigued. They look worn out. But what you do notice is the crypt keeper is kind of at the end of the bed, like shoulders are slouched, hunched, arms are kind of down to the side. Their heads kind of hung, like hanging, like just lopsidedly. They're looking down and they just look glassy-eyed.
Probably check with the crypt keeper first.
With a 15, he acknowledges you, and then you do your normal routine, your doctorly check-in or check-ups. Yeah, follow my finger. You see as you get to he follows your finger up to a certain point, and as you pull it back the other way, he doesn't register it fully, and then eventually his eyes. There is a cognitive issue there. There's some kind of disconnect. He's still functional.
Yeah.
But there's yeah, there's definitely some brain damage that must have happened. And you gather that he still has a lot of fungal growth on him,
Mm.
um, that haven't peeled away or dropped off. Um, you begin to inspect, and you actually see that he has like mycelium that has like grown under the skin that you would have to do like surgery
Mhm.
to remove bits and pieces, which you are fearful for because of the potential of decay.
Mm.
Like under the skin, if the mycelium dies or is dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, just gonna start
Or
rotting in there.
rotting, or the potential of other fungal growths taking hold.
Mhm.
Shifting that over, I'll say to the other two. Theirs are, if with a precise enough hand, you would be able to effectively and efficiently remove the mycelium. It has not seemed to be as ingrained in them, but they seem far more coherent.
All right. Yeah, so they, they're like, are all of them capable of speech, or is the Crypt Keeper just
Yeah.
like,
Crypt Keeper is it's slow
Like-
and slurred. I mean, the best way to kind of describe it is like someone who had a stroke. And it's just
Mhm.
like that level of they're not losing functionality of their arm or their limbs or anything, but definitely it's that delayed speech,
Mm.
able to make coherent thoughts, but it just takes a little bit of time. And you don't, just from your professional analysis, your medical analysis, he probably would be, out of everybody to take with you, if you were going to take people, it would be him,
Mhm.
for the sake of, or you'd need to do medical procedures now
Mm.
to try to help assist.
Okay. I mean, he'll give that
Yeah,
report.
they all have speech. Yeah, they can.
Yeah.
They can speak.
He'll give that report and basically like, I mean, because you'll come back out and be like, I mean, listen, that guy, you can ask him questions, but I can't guarantee they're going to be the most coherent. But you can certainly ask, but I make no promises.
All right. What about the other two?
They're coherent. All of them still. I'm all still concerned about all of them. They seem like they got hit the worst, but they're there.
So, I mean, we can't stay here long. Or maybe we can. But we should probably get moving. Do we think leaving the magistrate and his family here is...
Well, if we ask you point blank, if we just speak frankly in this moment, we had time to rest and think and talk amongst ourselves. Where would you have put fault any of these that are still within this room? Would you put blame on any of them?
As far as I'm...
And we're talking to the big guy that's taking
Oh
charge.
yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, we think that... I think that it's all been a mistake. Nothing nefarious or perhaps even negligent. Just a bad set of events
Right. So to
that
the
resulted.
point, would you blame any of the three in that room?
No. No.
They could stay. We'll figure it out here.
I mean, I'll be honest about the Crypt Keeper over there. I'm very concerned about the growths he's got going on there. His have made their way under the skin, and he's going to need some surgery to remove those. Otherwise, there's a considerable concern of infection, necrosis, Additional fungal infections making their way in that could get contagious.
All right, so
Yes, that looks bad.
you can take Demo with you. He's at a risk.
And the other thing is, if we take someone with us back, our researchers can take a look at him. You know, get to see what's going on there, be able to see what treatments work best on him, and then potentially come back here. And if there's anybody still having some problems, we have a lot of experience treating it, and we can give you a little bit more of an effective treatment for the rest of you.
Well, I'm convinced. All right, then you can take Demo with you. Do what you need to. You and the Verdant Walkers, and then we don't want anybody to be displaced if unnecessary. But I think we need to be a bit more aware of what's going on in our surroundings.
Do we know the method of communication in this time? Is it like pigeons, birds, some type of mail?
I believe it's courier. Like it's kind of like imagine like John Revere. It's like most people.
John Revere?
Is that what it is? Who is it?
Paul Revere?
Paul Revere.
Paul.
Whatever. A generic
John Paul.
dude's name.
John Paul Revere.
John Paul Revere.
Paul.
It is very much like that. It's the fear that they have, bird messengers and things of that nature. The general vibe as this landscape is scary.
Yeah.
And the potential of like a bird or anything of that nature. So it's just typically by way of
So it
people.
might be a regular daily occurrence to see some dude just kind of
Less of a running,
Trail.
more of horse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, more like a seed. But yeah. It probably wouldn't be daily. You're looking at more probably like a monthly occurrence. If
And it's a
that.
letters thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
missives. It's
Right.
you know,
Well, if you,
probably people collect a bunch of things and then send it off.
We'll send a letter. We'll have the Verdant Walkers send a letter of an update regarding what we find. Should it be helpful?
All right. Well, Demo, we'll get him up, settled. Are you ready? Are you leaving today?
Yes.
Walks in and magistrate. He kind of talks to the magistrate, and him and his magistrate and his wife kind of cry a little bit as there was a fear of what was to come of their verdict, and then he kind of goes over to Dimmel and gingerly lifts him up, like gets him to stand, and Dimmel kind of follows and nods as he's talking to him, but more nod in like just a habitual almost way. Dimmel, they're gonna be taking care of you. Get you all fixed up. What kind of look?
Right this way.
Miles. Oh, he looks worn the fuck out. Bags under the eyes, just looks like he's malnourished to some degree. But yeah,
do we know if there are any do we know if like the best thing we can do for him is just give him water and food, or if there's like some other things to kind of tide him over for the trip ahead?
I would say the basic necessities, water, food. Probably would be a good idea for the doctor to keep tabs on the wounds, just in case. But yeah, it's a pretty rough journey ahead. That y'all know. I mean, traversing the more ashen, barren landscapes of Elrinthus can be harrowing. So it's not too far of a journey back to the Varenwood, which is a little bit more of a safe haven for y'all. But yeah, from what you know, it's just he just needs the basic necessities at the moment.
How are we transporting them?
y'all walked here.
Yeah.
That's a
Is
long.
there?
That's a long walk to transport a person.
Yeah. Do we have like so? It's a rough travel. There's no. There's. Is there? Is there? Are there roads?
There
Yeah.
are roads, yeah.
Okay.
There are
Yeah.
paths.
So like, could we ask to borrow a cart and horse? Just like get back and get him back.
Undo it.
Yeah, so they traded. So what really sparked this was that there was a stop of because honey. They provided honey to
Mhm.
Verdant Walkers, and there was talks of a fungus that was coming up and investigating that, and then they hadn't heard or hadn't had a delivery of honey in about a week. So the Verdant Walkers were like, okay, we need to see what's up. So they sent y'all. As you step out, there is the village is kind of back to some normalcy of a routine, though everybody's kind of still in that weird, uncertain phase. But they are loading up because they have functionally acted the same. There was no lack of functionality. But yeah, you see the cart that y'all are hauling people in, and the horse is actually being loaded up with supplies, and things like that. This leader, I haven't asked his name, but the leader, this larger guy, approaches. We should have a shipment going out within the next day or so if you do want to stay, but if you want to utilize the cart, or we make our way.
Yeah, we better keep moving. Thank you.
If we have a spare cart, would the Verdant Walkers compensate us for you using it? Or do you need one of us to come with you as far as the woods? Because I don't know if
Yeah.
that's
What can I peg for how much a cart would be worth?
good question. I Google cart. And I'm pulling a cart. It's about 15 gold.
He'll give 20 gold.
Because yeah, the minimum we have to travel is like 60 miles.
It's y'all the conclave rest on the southern edge of the Varan.
Oh yeah, so we're looking at a decent travel then, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about
So,
7 or 8.
And the roads don't even really go to the Varanwood, right? So we'd be like going overland.
As long as the wheels are big, we'll be fine.
Crossing the ashen wastes.
I will let you know, like the Verdant Walkers, it's not like they have outposts effectively around the Varanwood. That's where these connections would be made. So y'all know on the edge closest to that's where y'all started was on an outpost by the Verdant Walkers on the northern edge. So you can get to the outpost there, have the cart, maybe even just leave the cart there, the cart and horse, for them to have someone come and pick it up or return it. It's up to you. But if y'all are taking a cart and horse, they will let you do so, as you have paid effectively for it.
Yep, paid for it. Cart and horse.
They do have like people like effectively like people pulled carts to be able to utilize, but then we'll climb into the back of the cart and just kind of.
Does this person have like open wounds?
Oh, on the back of the neck and stuff, where that, it looks like abrasions, so it looks like it's not great.
I
Okay.
imagine it's pretty bruised.
I'm gonna
too.
produce some maggots.
Okay.
And just kind of put those on the abrasions. And cast cure wounds.
With divine magic, because this is the fun thing with divine magic. You watch us like not get too graphic with it, but some of the mycelium that has embedded into the skin actually forcibly gets pushed out. Like the divine magic is pulling it from the skin.
Okay.
Not perfectly successful. There will be some deeply ingrained bits that Doctor realizes, but the maggots will do their work.
Okay, I'm gonna do something. I'll do something else then, as well.
Okay.
Just to make sure this guy's comfortable,
Sure.
because my character wouldn't like this dude chilling with he's just like clearly uncomfortable and riddled with shit. So, a cloud of like glowing glowworms are gonna like start to fall off of Gallus onto this guy. So there's more bugs falling on this guy, and just to see if this helps him feel better, I'm gonna cast Lesser Restoration.
Oh, okay. What level spell is that?
2nd level.
Okay. A little bit more of the mycelium, probably some of the
Basically, just ends either one disease or
Brain, yeah.
condition afflicting it: blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned, or one disease.
you with the combined bits of divine magic that you infuse into his body, there is a level of obvious comfort that kind of he doesn't seem like he was very hesitant with his head, but even so forth with that, it's the some more are able to be expelled
Okay, cool.
easily, but yeah,
And
even the doctor is analyzing that that's doing good work. It's just either more magic like that needs to be pumped into him regularly, or
okay,
from what he can tell, it needs to be like some deeper
Okay.
removals.
so that was maggot therapy, which is cure wounds, and restoring glowworms.
Yeah, you just watch as a swarm of maggots and glowworms just kind of like adhere to the guy's head, and he's kind of looking about.
Trust me, these will make you feel somewhat better.
He just nods, smiles, doesn't really say anything.
Wow.
And then like the maggots and glowworms just eventually disappear.
So we've got a cart, a horse, and we're on the road. We're heading out.
Okay, you leave in Goldmire. But as you're leaving, a few townsfolk approach and offer each of you a pot of Goldmire honey. Because of what this is, these effectively are potions of healings.
Oh, cool.
Basic potions of healing.
Oh, this is quite nice.
How many each? One each?
One each, yeah.
So I have 2 technically. Because I didn't use my potion of healing, so.
Oh, yeah. Then you have your Goldmire honey healing pot. Effectively.
This is the legacy one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's the
Just
basic whatever. It's still the
Yeah.
2d4 plus 2, I think. Okay. Yeah. All right. So who is driving the cart?
Probably not me.
All right. Oleander hopping into the cart.
I'll sit in the back with the patient.
Okay. Bud will ride shotgun with Oleander. Dr. Thomas, what do you want to do? You just want to adhere to the side of the cart?
He's probably gonna ride pretty close to the patient
Okay.
to like be able to keep monitoring him and everything while we're going, and like make sure like we hit a bump or something, it doesn't cause him to get worse. Like if he starts running a fever, if he just needs anything, or just kind of just constantly checking his vitals.
All right.
Yeah,
Do you know
if
the name of the
if he ever starts
horse?
dying, I'll cast Spare the Dying.
Okay. Cantrip. Do what?
Do we know the name of the horse?
Did you ask?
Yeah, I
Okay.
do.
Um,
In case it, helps.
the horse, as part of the namesake, people aren't that creative. The horse's name is Honey.
Great. Oh my god, that's gonna be funny. Alright, honey, let's keep moving.
Exactly it. All right. So there is a path that leads off of those, not the main part of the main thoroughfare. There is a road that y'all took to get to Goldmire from this main road.
Yeah.
Or the big path. You would travel along that path, returning back. So, Oleander, I would like you to roll me a. Roll me a land vehicles roll. You can use
Uh,
wisdom.
vehicles,
Or-
land. Yeah, here we
Yeah.
go.
So you'll use your wisdom and then add your proficiency bonus. If you're proficient with land vehicles, I'll give you advantage.
I am.
Roll with advantage.
Did you say advantage or no?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll roll it again and see what we get. So 17 is the higher.
Higher one. This is more so because it is not your usual cart. It's not your cart. And your horse. It's just getting used to how honey travels and how the cart feels, and ensuring that you're moving through the landscape with a little bit more ease. As you depart from Goldmere, there is a sense of bittersweet as the honey and floral scented winds of the Rosewood dissipate into the usual dust-filled, acrid, slightly acrid-smelling air of Felrinthus, of the Felrinthus wilds, if you will. The journey back should be simple. Moving east across the hilly landscape, following this path and east across the hilly landscape, toward the thick Varenwood wilds, or Varenwoods, coming upon the first of many outposts. During this time, is there anything specific that the group would like to do? I know, Dr. Thomas, that you were checking and keeping eyes on your patient, who eventually just kind of settles into a sleep, just kind of curls up, and just, with the rocking, just kind of eventually sleeps.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably also, like, getting bandages on those, like, any of the places where the fungus is, checking and changing the wound dressings, like, making sure nothing gets infected. So it's less like just keeping an eye on him and more like, checkups and, like, looking at the fungus
Being
and
a
making
doctor,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, being a doctor, yeah. Doing the regular upkeep of someone who is in critical condition or
And
seems likely to be.
just for edification, who has this stone currently?
I think it was Gallus.
The Gallus who's still in possession of it? Okay. All right. Anything specific for the others? If not, we can proceed forward.
Oleander would like to just through their rations make a couple of little treats using as chef feet.
Okay.
We'll take some of these rations, like the regular rations, maybe add a little bit of that honey to them, so that you've got like the honey oats almost,
Right.
like a honey oat granola. He's gonna make a granola. There we go.
Amazing. Honey granola. We love that. All right. Easy enough. And you distribute them out. I think that gives some benefits.
Yeah, 2 treats. They last 8 hours, and anyone can use a bonus action to eat one and gain temporary hit points equal to the proficiency bonus, which is 2. So it's just a way to get 2 temporary hit points as a bonus action. So I guess he'll give them to the people who have, I guess, the least hit points, constitution-wise. I imagine that's the doctor, but I'm not sure. I've got Oleander has 23.
I have 30.
What does the doctor have?
21, sorry.
Ah, cool. Yeah, he'll definitely give one of the treats to the doctor, and then probably give the other treat to the doctor as well for potentially the patient.
Okay.
But to be kind of potentially just doled out by the doctor for anyone. So yeah, that's what he did.
Awesome. All right, moving forward over this day's journey. You could travel what, 24?
Anything can travel 8 hours force march a day.
and then 8 hours you're able to get.
Anything beyond the 8 hours of forced march travel is Constitution saves for exhaustion. So the only thing making those saves would be the horse.
Right, that is true. Y'all just let me know if you decide to push forward. But as you fully get past the Rosewoods and you are now into the rolling hills, it is, Oleander, you are navigating well enough to where you are not going up steep hills and then going down steep inclines of that nature. The sensation of your first real mission being a success with far minimal casualties leaves a little bit of a pride to your to the group. You have gifts of fresh honey, as well as the collected samples of the spores. In all regards, your shepherd should be happy to hear of your success. And your shepherd is effectively your handler. That's what the Verdant Walkers call their handlers, or the shepherds. But you all feel just an underlying distinct sour taste in the back of your throats. Not sure what it could be, outside of maybe just what events had transpired. But Gallus, as you're sitting in the back of the cart watching the patient and then looking at the surroundings, you feel the first dull come from the emerald necklace.
This thing is making pulsing noises, feeling pulses.
Oh, great. I was just thinking about how wonderful our first mission is gone. What's happening?
I don't know. It's just making pulses.
As you look at it, if you look at it.
Yeah.
Okay. As you pull it up, there was a dull. It was like a much duller hue to it. Now it seems to have, like, whatever dull light was in it kind of had brightened just a little bit, and there's that. And it's almost like you can feel it and see it. It's just that faint, slow beat. Almost rhythmic.
It's like a heartbeat.
Keep it away from our patient there, yeah?
Yep.
Can you get anything else from it?
No,
He says,
it's just
looking over
pulsing.
his shoulder, taking his eye off the road just for a moment.
Tumbled up the hill. From what you can gather, no, there doesn't seem to be any difference outside of the coloration is glowing.
No, it's just glowing and pulsing.
All right. Keep it on.
Right. Eventually the world grows quiet, aside from the soft neighing of the horse, distinct crunch of the ashen soot beneath wheel and hoof. The landscape, as you now know it, closely resembles that of a dried lake bed, where pieces of the ground have split in jagged angles, the pattern resembling that of wild cracks of lightning. And as you reach into your about first 5 hours of travel, Oleander, you first spot it, you and Bud, as you're sitting at the front. There is the sky is dark overhead, traveling from the north. So where the stone dark mountains are, it seems like these clouds are moving from that direction. And you hear the soft, like, distant rumble of thunder. And even from this distance, you could see the sheet of rain that darkens the horizon. You know,
All right.
you can tell when it's raining.
We're all. Are we all? We're. Based on the notes I gave you for the setting, is everyone kind of generally aware that the rain here is acidic?
I was about to say that. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's you would haven't been informed of this. Each of you, as you look in this direction, are reminded of the acid rain, an unnatural yet not rare occurrence that happens upon the continent. Discussions within the conclave act as warnings, as the woods are protected by druidic wards that purify the rain, but no such wards exist beyond. Do you wish to push forward, or do you wish to try to find shelter?
We should look for shelter. The rain will melt through us like hot knives through butter.
Yeah, any recommendations? Keep an eye out. What are we thinking? Like, caves? Trees probably won't do it.
Well, there's not going to be any trees out here.
Right.
Roll, if you would like to
Dig
roll
a
me a
hole.
person. So, not necessarily like there are remnants of a past here. Though there are not growing trees, there are like petrified trees of ancient passage that have just, when the sundering of this place happened, those are the remaining remnants. You know there was some kind of life before, but that life does not maintain. These are not living foliage, if you will. But if you would like to look for shelter, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
I'll do one of those. I'm proficient. Just for fun.
I'm not, but I'll roll it too.
Natural
go ahead.
1 for a 7.
12.
16 for Oleander.
Right. Let's see. I need to roll for Bud. Nah, I'm not gonna let Bud. We'll just focus on, yeah, the group. But with a 16, Oleander, the others, there's the worry on the back of your neck of, fuck, it's moving. This storm is moving fast. But Oleander, you with your 15, you quicken the pace of the horse and the cart as the rain looms closer and closer. You can see about a good 100 or so feet from you, there's a craggy overhang with a slight burrow-esque hole. Something large about the size of a full-grown brown bear would have nested here. It's close, and if you move at the pace, you might be able to beat the storm.
You see him check over his shoulder a bit.
Let's pick up the pace a little bit, just for safety. We should be able to make that outcrop right there.
Okay, I would like you to roll me an animal handling, or a vehicle with wisdom at advantage.
23.
23. All right. You give a crack to the reins, and Honey whinnies, now picking up with a more. She can't run at a full gallop, but she definitely picks up her stride, and pulls faster and faster as you close the gap. You get within about 40 or so feet from the craggy overhang before the first sky booms loudly as the dark clouds have almost seemingly rushed. It is a fast-moving storm. You see the distinct coloration of yellow-red lightning brightening within the storm clouds. Those lights are faster. Those lights move faster than the smell. The sickly smell that nearly causes you each to retch as if like burning rot, like you're smelling burning rot. Though you have beat the major onslaught of the storm, the first droplet of rain begins to hit the ground, and you do have a cover on this wagon, and you begin to see the first hit of rain on the cover. Oleander, you feel the rain, one of like a droplet, like a random droplet hit you like on your exposed skin. There's a moment where you instinctively flinch, expecting your skin to start melting, but it's not that. It's as if you're being touched by superheated water, like boiling water. Your skin immediately turns a bright red from where that droplet hit you.
Hells.
As you let forth this, you each hear another crack of lightning. And you hear what sounds followed by that, almost like if the lightning, as you hear the thunder, the crack of thunder. Lightning's the light. You hear the crack of thunder, and as you hear that, you hear what sounds like laughter within the clouds itself. The laughter of almost like someone who's manic, like almost just crazed, but being crazed with laced with electrocution. As through the clouds you see these winged figures flying down, and as they fly down, you see from the clouds there's a lightning strike that strikes one and bounces across about 4 or 5 of them. Everybody, do I need to give you the map, or is everybody here? I need to double check.
I'm here.
I'm here.
Drop the map again. Actually, I think it's in pinned.
Yep, there it is.
Yep. Really. We'll move the map. I didn't have a cart with just a horse, so you have 2 bulls.
That's totally cool.
All right. So just to kind of give you a reference, this is that craggy outcropping. This is where you would kind of like go into a tunnel. Well, but you do see descending almost immediately. There are that have like almost fallen from the sky. They are winged creatures with these heads of bright, moving, shifting lightning. These are, for the sake of this, they are lightning methods.
Cool.
So, I would like everybody to roll me initiative.
And there's
14.
And there's acid rain falling around us, yeah?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay.
So far, it just is like hot water.
Natural 20 for a 21. I've rolled 3 natural 20s tonight.
Wow.
Right. So, that was a 21 for Gallus.
Yep.
Oleander, what'd you roll?
14.
14. Wow. Bud rolled a 19. Nope. And Dr. Thomas.
10.
All right. There are 2 versions, by the way. There's yellow lightning and white lightning.
Okay.
So the white lightning, that really quick. Oh, they have the same. Wait, just realized what they okay. So starting off is Gallus. You were inside the cart.
And it's covered, yeah?
It is covered, yes.
But I can see out of it?
You can.
Okay. 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 Bonus action. I'm gonna cast Spiritual Weapon, which takes the form of a bunch of insects that weave their form together into a floating dead tree, like a willow tree. Okay. And I'm gonna conjure my Spiritual Weapon beside this one.
The southernmost white one.
Yep. Oh, I closed the owlbear. Oops.
I put it there. You gotta swing at it.
Back to owlbear I go. Yeah, and then I think when I do that, I get to attack with it immediately. Cool. So that'll be a 23 to hit.
That definitely hits.
So the branches just kind of whip into it. And that'll be 10 force damage.
Nice.
Quite ease. The force of the spiritual weapon flies down like a massive tree falling in the woods and just immediately dissipates this lightning creature.
Perfect. And then, as my action,
Nice one, Gallus.
as my action, yeah, as my action, I'm going to look at the other white one up on this ridge. And I'm going to cast Buzzing Bees, which is Toll the Dead.
Okay.
And I need it to
Buzzing
make,
bees.
I need it to make a wisdom saving throw.
Hey. Natural 20.
Fuck. That's my turn.
It just cackles. And it just sounds like just electroshock. All right. That it for you. Next up is Bud. What's Bud gonna do? Bud have anything?
Paladin.
Damn. Yeah, but
A
Brittany's not using weapons that are effective with her.
No.
All right.
Savage land.
Oh, fuck.
Me drawing that. Like, who drew that? All right. Bud's is riding shotgun with, I can't put y'all both there, but is riding shotgun with Oleander. Is gonna grab a javelin and is gonna throw it at this guy up on the hill here. Yep. 20 feet? Yeah, perfect. All right. 18 to hit. 18 will definitely hit. For 3 of piercing. As the javelin flies through, it connects for a moment and then almost like it splits apart and then coalesces back. Bonus action. That's it. All right. They're gonna lift their shield. Do you have a shield? Yeah, they're gonna kind of lift their shield up, taking the ready position. Next up are the yellow. Okay, starting off, this guy here. I can move back.
We can't hear what you're saying too well. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I'm mostly talking to myself here. Yeah, I'm gonna move. This guy is going to travel 30 feet, and they're hovering above the ground. They're gonna be tucked here, and they are going to see the target that just threw a javelin. And you watch as a mote of lightning, it kind of like grabs like a mote of lightning, and it just like throws it forward. This little ball of lightning. Toward Bud. That is a 17 to hit, which just misses. 18 armor class. It hits the shield and disperses. Next will be this guy here, who is. Nope, he needs to fly up a little bit. He's going to fly and hover about right here. And is going to do the same thing, but is going to do it at you, Oleander. Oh my god. 6 to hit?
That does not hit.
Does not hit. All right. Next up is this guy here.
Oleander's just gonna be like, "Hey, shoot! Get out of here!"
Fly 30 feet.
Cats.
He's going to have to dash. He's going to dash. for another 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Gonna get right up here. Spooks Honey a little bit. Same thing with this guy. Gonna travel. Gonna dash. Gonna get there, and this guy is gonna do also dash here. That is it for the yellow wisp. Oleander, you are up.
All right. So Oleander wants to protect the horse here. Okay. Just gonna go along the maybe even like just use the horse itself as like a little boost. It's gonna run along the horse, jump off it, and try to hit this wisp.
Okay.
This Mephit, and yeah, with his axe.
Yeah, sure enough. Honey kind of shimmies a bit, but you're able to quickly run across and bring your axe down.
Okay. And for a natural 1.
Okay. That's a miss.
Yeah.
As you cleave down, Honey actually kind of like lifts up a bit and it throws you a little bit higher. You actually overshoot, so you try to do a front flip to try to like between your legs like swing down, but the method is actually a little bit too high as you land. I'll give you this. You can land like the opposite side of him. Yeah. Poof, you hit the ground. Anything else?
I'm going to use a key point to do flurry blows. And
forgot your
try to hit this guy again, but not with the axe, but with like
decking it.
elbow.
Okay.
Or like no, he's gonna do the swing, and when he whiffs with the swing, he's gonna like he's facing away from it, and just tries to like back his booty up into it.
Okay.
Forcefully.
Throws your ass back. All right.
Yeah, he's throwing his ass back. Yeah.
Working on that method.
For another nat 1.
Oh,
But you have another strike.
I do have
so you go to
another
throw your
strike.
butt, and you're too short as it has flown up a little bit to
Yeah.
avoid you. And
Yeah. And then he's just gonna do kind of a roundhouse and try to really hit this thing. I guess we'll see what happens before I get to hey, and there it goes, a natural 20.
it just overcompensated a little bit. Yeah, a natural 20 will hit.
For really low damage, 8.
And your strikes are at this point they are not magical, right?
They're what?
Your attacks.
Oh, correct. Not magical. Correct.
As you roundhouse kick, you feel an impact, and then there's your leg kind of just. Whew.
And as a part of that attack, because I have the open hand technique, I can either have it be knocked prone, get pushed 15 feet, or make it so it can't use a reaction. So I will actually I will push it 15 feet away from the horse. So as a part of the attack, I will essentially hit it back behind me to knock it away from the horse.
So do you want it to go this way?
This way,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. And that's no. Do they get any
That's
saves
a
on that?
strength saving throw.
Strength. Oh God. Okay. Let me check. Oh yeah. 10 minus 2. So 8.
And it
You watch
fails,
as it
so
gets-
it gets knocked 15 feet.
It just flies as you pretty much do a roundhouse kick and just kick it behind you. It just flies and catches itself with the wind.
You're a
anything
squirrely
else-
one, aren't you?
Anything else for your turn?
Dude, that was all
I
3
know.
attacks just to hit
Yeah.
once.
I'm gonna
But you
use
got a
the
natural
rest of
20.
my
Because you got a natural 20.
Yeah. I'm gonna use the rest of my movement to get up on them so that they don't encroach on the horse.
Okay.
Because that's the. And gonna end my turn saying, "Protect the horses and the patient."
As you say this, and at the end of your turn, Honey is going to go, and Honey is going to book it in the direction as the rain. You see, Honey is recognizing the rain, and I will move all y'all with it. I'll be going.
Acid rain's fun.
So it's heading for the hole that is there, and then we'll get it here. They're gonna get they're just gonna get as close as possible, and they look antsy in this moment, but y'all are effectively all still on it. But y'all get pulled along with the horse in this moment. So at the end of your turn, it is the White Lightning Wisp. Gonna fly down. It's gonna fly right up on you, or really close to you, Oleander, and is going to do one of its electric balls as well. That's a natural 19 or plus 3, which is a 21, 22.
That hits.
All right. You take you take 4 lightning damage,
Owie.
and you lose your reaction.
Ah, my reaction.
It is effectively like a shocking grasp.
Oh, cool.
As you feel like it hits square in the center of your back, and your body tenses up in that moment. All right, Dr. Thomas, it is your go.
All right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Looking at where Oleander is there.
Acid rain.
That's all. Yeah, but like Hippocratic Oath.
Exactly. Physician, heal thyself.
All right. Gonna. Yeah, he's gonna. All right, keep it going into the damn cave. He's gonna take, reaches into his doctor's bag, pulls out a syringe with one of those formulas in it. It's actually the same one he used in the graveyard, because it's one that he uses in combat usually. Just like stabs himself in the base of the neck as a bonus action, and injects himself with the celerity formula, which is at least 60% cocaine.
Nice.
Because it's the one that increases his dexterity score and maximum dexterity by 3.
Oh, wow.
So it bumps him up to a 21 dexterity.
Very nice.
And he's gonna just zip right to here.
That lasts for a while too.
Yeah, it lasts I think it lasts until the next short rest. But it has all of them have a downside. Like this one has disadvantage on wisdom saves.
Oh, man.
Coked out.
Yeah,
That's why. That's why I was reluctant to use it in the graveyard, because I was like, this feels like we might be taking wisdom saves, but I was like, no, we need it. But yeah, and then is gonna go for sword cane strike at the one he's right next to.
Okay.
Come on, has a 16.
That'll hit.
All right. And this is an extra 1 because of the increase to dexterity, so it's 13 points of piercing damage.
Is your weapon magical?
No, it is not.
So you said 14?
13.
Right. Yeah, but it finds some purchase and is able to dissipate it a bit. You feel that tingly sensation as your fingers, because you were effectively putting a metal fork in an outlet.
Just
Yep. All right. Anything else for you?
Nope. That's movement, bonus action, and action.
All right. Gallus, here we go.
I'm gonna move the spiritual weapon to this motherfucker over here.
Okay.
Bonus action.
Sure.
And attack. Oh, 8 to hit.
8 is not enough, unfortunately.
And then, as my action... fucking same one, let's go. Conjure a glowing wasp, and I throw it towards that one, and I cast Guiding Bolt.
All right.
Come on. 25 to hit.
That hit.
For... 7 radiant damage. That's so bad.
Yeah, that's better than us.
7 radiant.
Doing half.
And he's glowing even more as there are wasps surrounding him, distracting him. That's where the advantage, I imagine, comes from.
Yeah, big old wasp stings it and it just glows.
Yep.
That's my action, bonus action. I'm going to stay in the wagon with the patient.
All right. Next up at initiative count 20. Add a tick here, but I think y'all are going to be good. Oleander, that was a really good roll. So, Bud is up. Oh God, hey, Bud, what the fuck are you doing? I clicked something. Ignore that. Damn, dude.
Yeah.
What the fuck? What the fuck is Brittany gonna do? All right. Bud is going to. I'm gonna make this easy. Bud is going to direct traffic and is going to direct the honey as best ability into the cave. Because Bud doesn't really not have a lot of things. Don't die. They're gonna call over their shoulder. All right. Bud's turn.
Man, classic.
They have a bunch of strength-based weapons when they're.
I know. Yeah.
A Dex Paladin.
Classic.
This will be addressed in, at the Verdant Walker conclave. All right, so the gold or the yellow orbs are next. All right, so like I always do, I'm going to start at the top here. This guy's going to fly down here, and he's actually going to throw a lightning ball at your spiritual weapon at the dead tree, like seeing it do stuff, and the ball just flies past it, and there's a moment, doesn't have a face, but it kind of looks a bit confused. This guy is going to fly down right up in y'all's face. It is gonna go for Dr. Thomas. You have that nice metal stick in your hand. So do you wear any other, you don't wear any other metal armor or anything like that, do you?
Correct. No. Studded leather.
Studded.
Okay. All right.
All right.
But it's effectively so it can do the ball as like a thrown thing or a touch. So that's enough for one. So
Hey.
dodge out of the way with that, and that increases your AC, doesn't it? That dexterity.
It does. Yeah. Bumps
Yeah.
it up because it bumps the dex, so his AC's up by 1.
Very nice. All right,
Yeah.
so them two moved. The one that you just hurt, it's going to turn its attention toward you. A natural 2. It's not going to hit. This guy here is going to go for you, Oleander. At 3. Not gonna hit.
Wow.
And then this guy here is. Okay, let's round him. Oop. He's going to go for you. That's a natural 19. That'll hit. Wait, will it? I don't know what your AC is right now. I just made that assumption. 19 plus 3 is a 22.
19 on Thomas. Or
19 plus 3? Wait, did you say 19? Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it's not. It's a 17, which is a number I'm still proud of, but like...
No, be proud. I'm sorry. All right. That is 3 lightning damage.
Okay.
Just
And you lose your reaction. Yeah. You were electrocuted. The shift tracker's not working. Oleander, you were up.
All right. Oleander is going to.
Is there one that we've already damaged yet?
You should
Within
be
his
able to see
proximity.
you should be able to see the health bars. Can you see like the little red lines underneath?
Nope.
Is that showing up for y'all?
No.
Oh. Well, only for me then. Anyway, this guy here has been hit, and this guy
Right.
here has been hit.
Okay, I'm gonna swing at this one directly west of Oleander. Oleander's
Okay.
gonna take his adamantine battle axe and swing it around on this guy
And yeah.
for a 24 to hit,
That'll hit.
two-handed, yeah, that'll be not bad. That'll be 13 damage,
Very nice.
and he'll use another one of his key points.
Well,
Did he-
don't, because the 13 is enough to kill it.
Huh?
The 13's enough to kill it.
Cool.
So as the battle axe carves through, there is a momentary before and a micro explosion of lightning. So I need everybody within 5 feet of this guy to make a dexterity saving throw, please. So that is Dr. Thomas and Oleander need to make dexterity saving
Alright.
throws.
Methods
16.
are wieners.
22.
Successes. So you take half of this. Okay, dice. So it would be 5 lightning, but you only take 2.
Okay.
Woo.
Oh, boy.
Well, that's smarts. And then using a key point, he's going to take 2 more attacks. One on the one to the south,
Okay. Right here.
and this is barehanded.
He's essentially just gonna be like
Punching
you
lightning.
You see like an exposed electrical wire, and you're just like, you get that thought in your head. I think I can do this quick enough.
If I hit this just right, it'll get shot away.
Maybe if I jump in the air and hit it at the same time, I'll be fine.
Yeah, you're not grounded.
As it's going through.
Yeah,
his
you're not
You're
grounded.
not.
You're good.
Yeah. And he goes and tries to give it a smack. For 15 to hit.
That hits.
For 7 damage.
So half to 3. All right.
And then he'll notice that he made contact a little bit,
And after the smack, he'll go and like shove his shoulder into it to try
Okay.
and like smother it.
so another unarmed strike.
Nine.
No, it is gonna miss. Unfortunately, he's trying to show your shoulder in it, but it just kind of lifts up a bit, and you just underswing it.
All right. With that one strike though, with the I gotta remember this because that open hand technique. Anytime I
Yeah.
hit with a
Flurry of
with
blows.
a flurry of blows, I can have it do something. Make a strength saving throw, or
Can I tell if these things can actually become prone?
They're kind of they're hovering on above the ground, so
okay,
I would say probably not.
okay, all right.
Though they have wings, it's just more for aesthetics. It just seems like they're just like energized entities that are just kind
Okay.
of in a space.
Well, then I will then try to push it further away from us, 15 feet, with that one strike that I hit earlier.
All right.
So strength saving throw.
Yeah. 15 minus 2 for a 13.
Okay, that fails and it gets knocked 15 feet this way.
5, 10, 15, yeah. It's just thrown back like a soccer ball. You just kick it. Poof. All right. Anything else for you?
No.
All right. This guy, the white lightning wisp, he's glowing.
It's a guiding bolt, yeah.
Yeah. You saw where it came from. He's pissed.
Uh-oh.
He's
Oh, damn.
gonna fly around here, and he's gonna see you sitting in the cart. He's gonna see a big ball of lightning coalesce, and he's just gonna hum it at you.
Good luck.
Yeah. And rolling shit. Oh, wait, that's not bad. 14 plus 17 to hit.
Misses.
All right.
Nice.
Do you have a shield?
Nope.
Or is it? Oh, it's just your baseline. That's right.
My armor is my
You just
I have full
absorb
plate,
the energy.
but
Yeah,
my
you just
body is
absorb
my
that.
body is my full plate.
Right. Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
And we've said if Gallus
Alright.
ever dies, the armor is destroyed, which means he is destroyed. Yeah.
Dr. Thomas, you are up.
All right. Bonus action. He is going to bleed on the blade. Gonna
Right.
take 1d4 necrotic damage. Let's see how bad that damage is.
One.
1. Hell yes.
Very nice.
Yeah. Woo.
And his blade is now on fire. Does an extra 1d4 necrotic or 1d4 fire damage, and it is the weapon is considered magical now.
There you go.
Yes.
And okay, can't see which one of the which left and right. Which one's taking damage?
None of them.
Neither.
Neither. Oh, okay.
Neither of those two.
Oh, right. The one he
Not the
attacked
one
was the
down.
one to his south. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. He'll attack the one to his left. And a 1 and a 2 and 19. No, sorry, dirty 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right. So that's gonna be 9, 10 plus a d4. 13 points or 10 points of piercing, 3 points of fire damage, all magical.
And you said the one to your left?
Yeah.
Okay. That is just enough. So I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
All right. 24.
That's it. That's gonna be
Nice.
that's gonna be enough. You
right.
take half. So half of 6, so you take 3 lightning.
Okay.
It's effectively, yeah. Just
Jams his sword cannon into it.
you literally, it's like stabbing a socket. You just get just following through
So
and just
funny.
races through your body. All right. That it for you. It is Gallus. Back to you.
All right. So that guy's still glowing.
Yeah, this is the end of your turn.
Yep. The spiritual weapon's gonna move to him and attack with
Right.
Oh,
advantage.
There we go.
Very
Nice.
smart. That's the combo.
17 to hit.
17 hits.
11 force damage.
11 force damage. Kind of fizzles. You see some of the sparks fly off, but it's maintaining its form, but barely.
All right. And then the one beside it, guiding bolt, stinging wasp.
So here. All right.
Fuck. 8 to hit. 2 plus 6.
8 will. the
Stupid
wasp
dice hit the
flies
side of
right
my
past
screen.
it.
It didn't roll at all. Oh, virtual
do you
dice.
hate that?
Virtual dice stinks. All right, that's my turn.
All right. It is Bud's go.
Justin, you rolled 3 nat 20s. I rolled 3 nat 1s. Come on.
Bud is going to continue guiding Honey, and Honey is going to begin moving into the cave very slowly here. So we're just going to remove Honey for right now. And Bud is going to hop out. Gallus, you would be still on the cart here. Yeah. I'll say Bud kind of grabs you if you want to get out. Because Honey's just going to kind of like park partly into it.
Sure.
I'll leave it up so your visuals. But Bud is going to wait here, and that was pretty much her.
I don't know. I might stay with the patient though.
25, 30. Bud is going to run up. They have movement speed. They do have movement speed. They are going to grab their holy symbol, and they are going to look at
While you all get melted by acid rain, I'll stay in the car.
the one here. They're going to do turn the faith. Oh, no, Nature's Wrath. That's right. They're going to call upon Nature's Wrath as vines begin to sprout from the ground and attempt to restrain this creature. It needs to make a dexterity saving throw. Oh, it makes a dex save or strength save. Dex is a +1. We'll see. No, 13 is. Oh my gosh. 13 is going to succeed. Unfortunately, the DC's 12. The vines kind of lasso around, and then the lightning just kind of immediately burns through them. That's their action. Next up
DC
is
12.
the yellow. Yeah. Yeah. Next up is the white lightnings. We're going to start where we start here. This guy's going to beeline it right to Bud. They are right in their face. Bud, what kind of armor are you wearing? You're wearing chainmail. Good to know.
Ruh-roh.
That's a natural 16 plus 3 is a 19. It's going to be a hit. And you take amplified damage. You're wearing metal. 6 and 7. Roll a fucking 1. 2 lightning damage to Bud. Okay. That's that guy, and this guy here. Who's he gonna pick? Here's options. You know what? You just killed one of his friends, so he's gonna go for you. The good doctor.
Ah!
Fuck. Natural 3. I'm rolling shit for these guys.
Hey.
And then this guy who you knocked away from you, Oleander, he's gonna fly right back up at you. And he's going to attempt to shock you. Okay, natural 15 plus 3, 18 to hit.
That hits.
Right. You don't wear metal, right?
I do not.
Okay.
I'm just wearing a
That's
t-shirt and jeans.
T-shirt
T-shirt
and
and blue
jeans.
jeans, guys.
That's 3
Acronym.
lightning damage.
3 lightning damage.
Yeah, and he's actually going to get up right on y'all again.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oleander, it's your go.
You're gonna wish you stayed back. And he's gonna swing at it with his adamantine battle axe.
All right. Swing
Two-handed.
away.
For an 18 to hit.
That'll hit.
4. 9 damage.
You cleave through it. Its form fizzles a bit, but it still remains. You feel that tingly sensation in the tips of your fingers.
He's going to use his final key point to do another flurry of blows.
All right.
And the first one he's going to make on the one he's already hit.
Okay.
And as a part of this attack, he's like trying to bat it away because he knows that they kind of explode when you kill them. So he's just like, and kind of smack it away. For a 17 to hit.
17 does hit.
And that is 7 damage.
Okay. Half the 3.
And as a strength saving throw, as a part of
Was
knocking
dead.
it back.
It dies.
Oh, okay.
It had exactly 3 hit points. You were hitting it right on the mark every single time. But as you punch it, you try to like force it, but it's already starting to lose its like solid nature, and it just explodes out. So I need you and the doctor to roll me dexterity saving throw, please.
Ah!
That one might not get it.
I'm glad
16.
8.
I'm glad I stayed
8
on the
is a
wagon.
failure. Yeah, 8 is a failure. So you take 5, Oleander, and the doctor takes 2
Okay.
lightning damage. Does dissipate.
And then for my next Flurry of blows. I will attack the one north of us.
All right.
For a 16. Yes, 16.
16 will hit. Mhm.
Death.
And that is 6 damage. And it needs to make a strength saving throw or be knocked 15 feet this way.
All right. That's 9
So it's knocked right there.
right here. All right.
Yeah.
So you just like a roundhouse kick it over
Yeah.
your shoulder. All
Yeah.
right. I love that. That's open hand's fun. All right.
And then I'm gonna use my movement.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna like we gotta put some distance between us and them. Go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25?
Mhm.
How much movement do I have? 35. But I'm just gonna hold it right here because I don't want to get too far away from everyone else.
All right.
And that's my movement, action, and bonus action. And then I'm just gonna kind of present it as more of a bulwark.
As you move, this white wisp, lightning wisp moves as well, moving into your space. They know what they do, but he's not focused on you. He is focused on the one with that they now know to be a conduit of electricity. Fucking Bud. It's going to try to grab a hold of Bud. That is 2 natural ones. Okay. It's not meant to be, I guess. Bud just grounds them, like anchors herself to the ground, and the lightning just goes around the outer edges. Their hair sticks up a bit. All right. Shit, that was okay. Dr. Thomas, it's your go.
Right. Gotta move himself right here and go for that one right there,
All right.
right north of him.
Right north.
13 to hit.
That hits.
Oh, hey, nice. So that is gonna be 1, so 7, so 8, plus a D4, 3, 11 points of damage.
11 points of damage. All right. That's a good hit. Now it's attention on you.
Uh-oh.
Gallus, it's your go.
Okay. Spiritual weapon's gonna move to the one that's down there.
All right.
And attack. For a 20 to hit.
That hits.
For 7 force damage.
7 force damage. Very nice. Still up.
Well, that's not fun. I guess we'll throw a guiding bolt at it.
Okay. The one back here. Yeah.
Yep, same one.
All right.
Fuck me. 17 to hit.
17 hits.
For 18 radiant damage.
Whoa.
Very
Another wasp.
Dang.
And the wasp, as it pierces through, there's an electrical discharge as that one dies.
Nice.
Evaporates.
And you're gonna stay in the wagon and make sure the patient is alive. So, if, you know. My turn.
Yeah, it's Bud's go. What do you fucking gotta do, bro? Might as well. No, that's ass. They're going to cast Cure Wounds on you, Oleander.
Oh,
You get 5 hit points back.
woo! That's great.
I counterspell it.
Wonderful.
Yeah, DM counterspell. All right. That's Bud. Bud's just kind of like knowing that they're the the target because of their metal. They're gonna chill here. The yellow wisp. Yeah, Doctor, you hit it. Yeah, but it's
TPK.
yeah, it's gonna go for you, Doctor. Natural 19 again. 21, 22.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That's max. 5 lightning damage.
All right, I'm at 5 hit points.
Level 3. Level 3.
Yeah.
Oleander, it's your go.
Sorry, what'd you say? Is it
It's
my
your
turn?
go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Oleander will move to this location.
Okay.
And then give this thing what have you with the adamantine battle axe. As he moves to that location, he's spinning the axe above his head and swings it around to end his movement and try to hit this thing
All right.
with a 17 to hit
That'll hit.
for come on, finish rolling, please. 6 damage.
All right. As you bring your battle axe around, you are the lightning cleaver. As you destroy this one, I need you. I need you and Bud to make dexterity saving throws. Bud makes it at disadvantage because of the metal.
Okay.
Bud dies.
Ooey booey tooey.
Bud succeeded even on disadvantage. They rolled an 11. DC's 10.
Rolled a 4.
Okay. This is amplified on Bud, but not on you. So amplified damage on Bud, so it would be a D6. It's a D8. 3 half to 1. 1 point of damage. Oleander, you take 6 points of lightning damage.
Whee! And then as a bonus action, Oleander is gonna go up to this last one and put his hands together. These things hurt. And try to backhand this other one, this last one,
Okay.
with his bonus action. Might not happen. What is it? 13 to hit.
13 hits. DCs were low, or ACs were low.
And that's for 9 damage.
Half to 4. Right.
Yes.
You backhand this, like sparks fly a bit. All right. Anything else for you?
I think
Isn't that what I-
the movement. Yeah.
Isn't that the one I just did 11 damage to? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's the end of my turn. You know what? I'm gonna
What's up?
risk it and
Okay.
risk it for the biscuit and just kind of mosey on back away from this thing.
We'll make an attack at you.
Okay.
We'll try to shock you. That's an 18 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. It's only a D4. Max though. That's 5 lightning damage.
All right. I have survived. So I
Good.
moved, what was it? 1, 2, 3, no, or how is it? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and I'm like hopping on back of the on the wagon with Gallus
Just
and just being like,
covered in scorch marks, lightning scar marks. All right, Dr. Thomas, it's your go.
Somebody kill this thing. It's not going to be me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because he has 5 hit points left right now. He's like, if I take that thing down, it might just knock me out.
Oleander's at like 3, so.
Oh shit!
Wow.
Yeah, he is going to use the healer feat on himself as his action. Use up use of a healer's kit and give himself 1d6 plus 4 plus, we're level 3, so 1d6 plus 7 hit points back.
Nice.
5, so 1d6 plus 7 is 12 hit points back.
There you go.
Ooh, spicy. That's great.
Yeah, he just takes out his healer's kit and starts applying like ointments to the burns and putting bandages on himself.
All right.
It's
Gallus,
called
it's your go.
internal medicine.
Oleander's just kind of looking at this and going,
Okay. Spiritual weapon is going to move to the method.
Uh-huh.
For an 8 to hit. I keep rolling 2s.
8 is a miss.
And then fucking balls and piss. As an action, I will slap Oleander where he's got all his lightning burns. Yeah. And do cure wounds. So throw a bunch of maggots on him.
the tender bits.
So they're just covered in maggots. They begin eating the burnt dead skin.
But you feel a cooling
Oh, lovely.
sensation. and
I
you're
didn't need that
healed.
layer of skin anyway.
9 points of healing. And
Very nice.
then, now that there's people here,
Wonderful.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25 of my 35 movement speed to get beside
Okay. All right. Bud is seeing that everybody got out of the way. Bud is going to just take their longsword and attempt to slash at this thing. I fucking hate it. No.
Bud. Strength weapons.
Bud is actually going to see you get there and look back and is going to fucking look at
Yeah, the thing already used its reaction. Yeah.
and as Bud leaves, the creature looks to the wood creature, and is going to attempt to shock you. Your
Yeah.
armor
Go
is
get
not
it.
necessarily.
No, it's my body's
We
gonna go
believe
on.
in you from back here.
Yeah. That's a 17.
That
to hit.
misses.
It grabs you, but again, it just grounds like grounded.
Knowing that Gallus has this kind of primordial amulet on him, are we seeing anything happen as he gets closer to this?
Not from what you can tell. No.
Okay, all right.
Oleander, it's your go though.
And then I'm gonna cast Guiding Bolt on the wagon.
He's lying in the back. He's lying in the back of the cart. Just grabs one of his hand axes. He's just like throws it.
Are you prone in throwing it, or do you stand up?
Huh?
Because if you're prone, you're at disadvantage.
No. Ranged attacks you aren't prone. I mean, ranged attacks you are not disadvantaged when prone. No.
There's like just crossbows that you don't have disadvantage with.
Yeah, it's just crossbows.
Yeah. It's like shooting a gun.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, imagine like laying down and trying to get a good throw.
No,
you can
alright.
get like on one knee and throw it. I'll
Yeah.
let that.
Yeah, I'll
Just enough to
it's
get
like,
yourself
it's
a
like
good
a part
angle.
of the action. I'll get up and
Oh,
just be like,
yeah, you have disadvantage. You have disadvantage on. Oh, the legacy definition is the creature has disadvantage on attack rolls, all attack rolls, no matter what the weapon is.
Oh, that's
weird.
crossbow. Just seems weird to do. I guess
Yeah.
the other ones make
Normally-
sense because like having to pull your arm back, you're just holding up literally.
So that would
you're
mean
just holding up a gun.
spell attacks would be disadvantaged to prone.
They would, yes.
Yeah.
All attacks actually, which is again weird.
So
Anyway.
yeah, in other words, he's
Yeah.
like lying down. He'll sit up and just be like, "Get out of here!"
Make that throw.
Throws his hand axe. For for a 23 to hit.
That'll hit.
and 7 damage.
Half to 3. So close. It catches and then kind of sparks off.
Amazing.
All right.
And it'll like flop back down.
Dr. Thomas.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah! All right, the doctor is in. Sword cane.
I have this if you want to take shelter.
15. What?
15. As Gallus says this, 15. Your rapier strikes down on it.
It's gonna be 11 plus a D4 for another 2, so 13 points of damage.
As the doctor is in, there's the rapier hits, and you just know it's coming as the lightning explodes out. So Gallus and Dr. Thomas, please make dexterity saving throws, please.
That'll be an 11.
Right.
13.
Both succeed. So wow, rolled 6 again. Half to 3. So each of you take 3 lightning damage.
The first time Gallus has been injured.
All right. At the end of Dr. Thomas's turn, start of the round. The combat is technically over. Oh, Dr. Thomas, do you have any more movement?
I mean, what was I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll start going back towards the cave.
Okay. So at the top of the round, before combat officially ends, before we end the session, y'all feel the first beginning falls of heavy rain. So I need Bud, Dr. Thomas, and Gallus to make Constitution saving throw, please. As you
Oh,
begin to
6.
feel burns.
14.
Okay. Yeah, I have to roll for Bud.
You got a
What
big
did I
ol'
say?
6.
Dexterity saving thing? No, con. 14. All right. Sheets really quick. Okay. Bud and Dr. Thomas just managed to succeed. Gallus, you fail. Gallus,
Yeah,
you are made of
wood.
wood. Right. We're gonna. Okay. So you're gonna. Fuck. One disadvantage of this. All right. Fuck math. It's 9 acid damage.
Yep.
Well, you take 18
Mm-hmm.
because of your because of your currently body.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bud and Dr. Thomas, you take 4.
It burns.
All right. So, Gallus, what would you like to do? Are you running?
I am gonna throw up my Twilight Sanctuary Channel Divinity.
Okay.
Lasts for a minute. Whenever a creature ends its turn in the sphere, including myself, I can grant it either 1d6 plus 3 temporary hit points or end the Charmed or Frightened condition on it.
Awesome. Okay.
So I'm gonna do that first. So this
I'll say the
dome-
cart is in the cave at this point.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pop up that little 30-foot radius dome of twilight, which is just basically fireflies.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna run for the cave, and I have 35 feet of movement.
All right.
So 5, 10, 15,
You'll be able to just
20,
do it.
25, 30, 35. Shelter.
And there is craggy outcropping, so the cave is where that was headed, but there are like
Yeah.
overhangs that are protected.
So I'm racing for the shelter, and
any
now
under here.
now there is a 30-foot radius sphere emanating from me, and whenever somebody ends their turn, I'm going to give them 1d6 plus 3 temporary hit points, which
I
I'm going
think
to do
everybody can make it.
which I'm going to do to myself right now.
Yes, because we will be. Yeah, make sure you mark that for next session. Bud is just going to run in as well, and then Dr. Thomas, are you
Oh yeah.
okay?
Two
Embracing the rain? Are you?
Feel the rain on your skin.
It just begins to slowly eat away.
Do I need to mark down the armor class on my armor by 1 because of the acid rain? Because in the notes I gave you, it says acid rain slowly destroys armor.
It does technically. So yeah, I would mark it by
Okay.
1.
So, oh man, so I could easily get killed by acid rain.
You could.
Because if the armor is destroyed, Gallus is destroyed. Okay, so my AC will go from. How do I do that for the armor? I have to do it through my character sheet manually. Okay, so my AC is just going to be 17.
Dr. Thomas running in. I'm going to
Okay.
leave this up, but the rain begins to fall more heavily as you see, and that smell is overpowering in your nose. The cave is not that deep. It actually goes into the earth and then it kind of expands out, and you can tell something once lived here. Once resided, a massive creature once resided within this cave. But
Before we start next session,
sure.
just going to do the Twilight Sanctuary for everybody that's in the cave right now, just to give everybody temporary hit points.
Smart.
So, Oleander, you get 8 temporary hit points.
Whee!
Nice.
I would have gotten 5 because it was 2 plus 3 for me. The Doctor gets 5 temporary hit points,
Thank you.
and then Bud gets 8 temporary hit points.
Well, it does not need that much.
Just
Yep, very nice. The fireflies kind of coalesce on your body and kind of give you a bit of a boost. Yeah, as y'all are within this cave now, waiting for this acid rain to pass, we'll go ahead and call this session
noise
for the week, for the month.
for the month.
The month. All right. Goodbye. Thank y'all.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye.
That ran over.